And welcome to Wrestling Days Live. We are live for Smackdown, and what a Smackdown this should be. Of course, we had Roman Reigns winning the Universal Championship Sunday just gone, and what a moment. Payback, not the strongest pay-per-view, but not a disappointment. I thought it was all right. And no doubt about it, Roman coming down after the ring had been broken, getting that win. It's the big talking point in wrestling right now. We're going to hear from the big dog tonight. He is on the show along with Paul Heyman. I would imagine that he will start the show, and it's going to be very interesting just to see what he's got to say. There's lots of reports that Roman is the person that requested that he turn heel as well. So apparently that request coming direct from Roman Reigns. And obviously it's been a wild week or so. It's not even been 2 weeks since Roman came back at SummerSlam. It's been like a week and 5 days. So crazy, absolutely crazy to think that he's come back, had a match, won the Universal Championship, turned heel, aligned himself with Paul Heyman. He's achieved a lot in less than 2 weeks. So, lots of excitement in the air for tonight. Roman Reigns going to be cutting a promo with Paul Heyman, or maybe Paul Heyman's going to cut that promo for him. So, really looking forward to that. We've also got a number one contenders match. We've got Sheamus versus Big E versus King Corbin versus Matt Riddle. A lot of question marks as to why are these the number one. Where's The Fiend? Where's Braun Strowman? I don't know if they're selling like what happened at Payback. Maybe they're making out that they're not medically cleared or something. But still, you would look at this and go, where's AJ Styles? Where's Jeff Hardy? Where's... Do you know what I mean? Like, these are weird names. I'm pleased with some of them. It's great to see Big E kind of in the mix, Matt Riddle in the mix, but I don't know. Doesn't make a great deal of sense. But, that is a number one contenders match. And I'm sure as well as that, we're going to have Bayley and Sasha taking on Shayna and Nia for the women's tag titles tonight. So we've got that match coming up as well. So plenty going on, plenty to get excited about. Obviously, we've got the news about AOP as well, which we need to touch on, but it's not a great deal to talk about there yet. Haven't really had many details on that, but AOP news. I've just read something really interesting about something Vince has said to everyone. And we'll get to that in a second as well. But we've got a couple of super chats. Let's jump into those. Hayden Garrett says, hello, Days. How are you? I am good, thank you, Hayden. Hope you're having a good Friday. Jason Peace says, shout out, please. I am really excited for SmackDown. It is going to be epic. I do think it's going to be a lot of fun. I totally agree. I was asked earlier this week, what's your favourite wrestling show? And I gave it some thought, and I did come to the conclusion that it is SmackDown. And I'm not just saying that because we're here on the SmackDown stream. I legit said that earlier this week. So, I just think that it's got some really interesting stories. I think that it's got some big characters. I mean, obviously, we've got the likes of AJ Styles. We've got the likes of Roman Reigns. We've got The Fiend. We know that we're going to be seeing, obviously, the continued fallout of Sasha and Bayley. We didn't get any of that on Monday. So what happens when they lose tonight? Because I'm expecting them to lose again tonight. We're still quite a way off from the next pay-per-view. So we need a story. We need something that can play out over the next few weeks. Could it be we get the turn tonight? We've been waiting so long. Is it tonight? Is Bayley or Sasha finally gonna snap? Plus also, who will be the next challenge for Roman Reigns? You would say maybe Matt Riddle or Big E. if Roman is a heel, then surely a face is going to win that fatal 4-way. So I don't expect Sheamus. I don't expect King Corbin. Will it be Big E or Matt Riddle? Those two for me are the favourites to win tonight. And what a match that would be. What a match that would be. Roman against Big E for the title. Roman against Matt Riddle for the title. Moda, shout out to you, says, I just wanted to send a shout out to my boy DJ B Tazzy. Happy birthday to you, my friend. I hope it's a good one for you. Shout out to DJ B Tazzy. I did see that post. I did see on Twitter that it was his birthday. So happy birthday to DJ B Tazzy. Hope you are having a fantastic day. So shout out to you. As well as that, we've got Jody Gilly. Jody says, just popping in. Thank you very much for the kind support. Jody says, just popping in to say hello. I am extremely ill, so I'm going to go back to bed, but I hope everyone enjoys SmackDown. Love you all. Shout out to you, Jody. What's wrong, Jody? Is it like a bit of flu that you've picked up, or?
Jody Gilly is a legend.
Here we go.
They
Look,
donated $19.99 via Super Chat. Just popping in to say hello. I am extremely ill, so I am going back to bed. I hope everyone enjoys SmackDown. Love you all, heart.
And that allowed me to have some coffee as well, so I really appreciate that. Shout out to you, Jody. I hope I tell you what, a good night's rest. Oh, you can't beat it, can you? You can't beat it. Oh, I'd love to jump in bed with... Well, hang on. No, let me not finish that sentence. I'd love to jump in bed as well. Because, yeah. Oh, there's nothing like a good night's rest. I'm sitting here and I'm jealous, Jody. I'm jealous. I wish I could have a good night's rest also. So, yeah, hope you're feeling better soon, my friend. Nigel B, shout out to you, buddy, says, thanks for being awesome, Days. Really love the streams. Shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. It's just, man, there's so much excitement around at the moment. Let me tell you about what Vince said, because I just read this not that long ago, right? Vince said that he has requested, well, I say requested, demanded that WWE superstars don't engage with third parties. Now, I didn't understand what this meant. So I was just reading it before we went live, and it said things like Twitch and things like Cameo, and maybe even things like YouTube, right? He's saying that they're using their likeness, they're using their names, and it's detrimental to WWE, which I thought was really interesting, because I know Liv Morgan started a YouTube channel just literally the other day. I wonder if she's going to be made to stop that or put that on hold, or what's going to happen to like Asuka's YouTube channel, because this must be what he's talking about, working with third parties, companies that aren't WWE, yet they're using their faces, they're using their voices, they're using their names, and he's saying that they've got until October to stop. It's got to stop. So the speculation, they don't name any third parties, but the speculation is Cameo. So if you're after a cameo from a WWE superstar, which is where you pay them some money and they give you a 30-second clip, you might want to do that sooner rather than later. If you're really like loving someone's YouTube channel, you might want to kind of catch up on the videos you haven't seen. Because when it gets to October, I don't know what's going to happen and what's going to change. But apparently on Thursday, yesterday, an email and a letter went round to all of the superstars telling them they've got till October. So really, really interesting news. Really interesting news that could have some big, big changes on the way. Jody says, stomach flu. Oh, trust me, don't be jealous. I'm not jealous of stomach flu. If it was, do you know what I mean? If it was a little tickly cough, yeah, and you were just going to go to bed, then I'd be jealous. But I'm not jealous of stomach flu. I haven't left the bathroom for hours. Are you in the bathroom right now? Are you literally in the bathroom sending these messages? Respect, if you are. Respect. Because what I would say is you have definitely got your priorities right. Plus also, is that not a bit offensive? Have you, are you not in the bathroom, doubled up in pain? Oh, man, I feel so ill. Oh, that reminds me. Let's go on to days. See what day... People always remember to come onto these streams when they've got really bad stomach flu. There's something about my face that just connects very well with stomach flu. Nah, Jody, look, joking. I hope you're all right, honestly, and honestly, rest up. Get some rest. And I am still a little bit jealous. But Gorilla Press, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Days,
Gorilla Press is a legend. They donated $10 via Super Chat. Days, I literally just seconds ago spoke to Dijakovic about this. He said they may have to change their names on these platforms. They really weren't given too much clarification.
Well, there we go. So, Gorilla Press, speaking to Diet, did you also say, excuse me, are you in Retribution? Can you tell me, are you in Retribution? Not that I'm sure you'd be able to say. But, hey, Gorilla Press, shout out to you. Literally just seconds ago, spoke to Dijakovic about this point. He said that they may have to change their names on those platforms. They weren't really given too much clarification. It's interesting. The only thing is, I think it's going to need to be more than just a name change, because it does actually specify, or I haven't seen the email, but what's being reported is that Vince has said to them about their names, but their likeness as well. So even if they change their name to their real name, right, rather than it being Asuka, she changes it to her real name, which I don't even know if I actually know her real name, but you're still going to see her face. Do you know what I mean? It's still Asuka. So that might not be enough when it comes to something like YouTube and Cameo, and I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It's come out of nowhere. So, but shout out to you, Gorilla Press, for kind of confirming that. Jody says, no, I'm in bed now, silly. Also, Vince is a tool. Vince is a tool. Shout out to you, Jody. Liv Morgan is going under the name of Giona. Oh, that's her real name, isn't it? I don't know. Let's be straight 100. I like to be honest, yeah? I'm not claiming to want to be one of these inside sources, yeah? I'm not claiming that. All I read are the same reports that are out there as you guys, so I saw this moments before the stream started. I've seen that it's been reported by a few different outlets, but they're saying that about the likeness as well. So even the fact that Liv has gone under her real name might not be enough. So definitely one to keep an eye on. Days, what's your predictions for each storyline? Dude, yeah, I couldn't even tell you each storyline, let alone predict them right now. I mean, when it comes to the three that we've spoken about, I think that it's going to be Big E or Matt Riddle. Maybe Big E because he's got a bit more name recognition. He's got a bit more brand value than Matt Riddle. And I think also Kofi is surely on the verge of coming back soon. He was only meant to be out for a short while. It's not like he's out for a year. So I think Kofi's on his way back. So this could be Big E's opportunity at the title, which I think would be really disappointing because I do not see Roman losing the belt anytime soon. So I think because it's been moved around a lot, you know. So, I mean, it was on Strowman, then it was on Fiend, now it's on to Roman. I can't see them switching it again this year. They could, I suppose, but I can't see it. So, I think Big E is going to win, and I think he's going to take on Roman at Clash of Champions, which I think this is what it's for. I think Clash of Champions is where this match takes place. And I think that Roman will win. When it comes to the women's tag titles, I really do think that Shayna and Nia are going to retain. So I'm quite confident about that. And I can't remember the third one. I think Roman's doing a promo, isn't he? So I'm not. I don't know what to expect there. I mean, like, what? I don't know why the Fiend isn't in this match. I don't know why the Fiend or Strowman, unless they're really selling the fact that they're injured, as we said. So it's very difficult to kind of get your head around. But yeah, let's see. Let's see what Roman's got to say. Let's see if anyone interrupts him. Jody says, Roman has already taken his cameo down. It says unavailable. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't even know if I knew Roman had a cameo, actually. I know that Alexa Bliss does. So I know Alexa Bliss does. But and Sasha, I think, does as well. That's such a shame. If they're going to take them down off cameo, why don't they start their own? Do you know what I mean? Why has WWE... Because I've heard... This is something else I've heard that might upset people. It kind of upsets me a little bit. That WWE are going to stop doing house shows. Either stop or drastically decrease. Like, the whole landscape of wrestling is changing. And the reason being is because during the pandemic, they were meant to be doing house shows, of course. But then the pandemic hit. And so they couldn't. And they ended up making nearly 4 times the amount of money they expected. Because it costs so much money to rent arenas, sort tickets, transport the ring and the lights and the stage, sort out all the wrestlers and get all them sorted for where they've got to go. Don't forget, down in Florida, a lot of wrestlers live there. So they haven't got to mess around with hotels and things like this. They just go back home. So, I wonder if there's... This is going to sound crazy, right? But hear me out. Hear me out. I wonder if it makes sense for WWE to purchase a building that can hold X amount of people and just permanently... Kind of like the Performance Center, but bigger. They kind of need their own arena. That's what they need. They need their own arena in Florida. They need their own kind of Amway Center. Maybe not as big, but kind of like the Amway Center. But they could have a scaled down one. But if they're not doing house shows anymore, then I suppose they're still going to take Raw and SmackDown on the road, aren't they, to a degree? I just wonder how much they're going to want to stay in one place. Because surely you're still going to lose money if you're taking Raw and SmackDown around. But maybe they think that's worth doing. Maybe they think, yeah, we can do that, but just house shows are going to go. I don't know, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. I mean, the reason I say that is because wrestling is built on house shows. Like, wrestling, like, obviously, that's what it was. You used to go around and you used to put your shows on. And then obviously as TV got more popular and they needed more shows like Raw, SmackDown, and now we've got NXT as well. And then we've got the network and pay-per-views and, you know, the need for house shows has kind of decreased. But, man, there's nothing like going and seeing the stars in person, certainly when you're a kid. So now your only opportunity is going to be Raw and SmackDown TV tapings. So... yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. That is one of the biggest changes to ever happen to WWE. If they're gonna get rid of house shows, that is huge. That is absolutely huge. So now it'll just be Raw and SmackDown. Jody says about Roman taking his cameo down, which, as I said, I wasn't even sure. Didn't even know that he had one. We've got Gorilla Press saying, I did, in fact, ask about Retribution. He just laughed it off and said he doesn't know. They don't inform him about any of those storylines. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Why is he dressing up then? Why is he a part of it then? Eh? We all know it's him. Someone showed me, actually, Mia Yim did a live stream the other day, and a little message in the bottom corner of her live stream was like, do not ask me questions about Retribution, because it was so obviously Mia Yim that everyone was just jumping on going, are you in Retribution? Are you in Retribution? Why are you in Retribution? What do you want Retribution for? Why are you with Retribution? Are you going to attack Raw? Are you going to attack SmackDown? Everyone was asking all these questions, so she had to have a little thing on. Do not ask me about Retribution. Sean says, I love it when I went to Main Event Live. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I can't imagine wrestling without house shows. It's weird because I think we're all a bit critical of house shows. Like, house shows, when you're a little bit older, you know the title's not going to change hands. I mean, I went to a house show. I can't remember where it was or when it was. I mean, it was a few years ago. And it was awful, man. It was awful. Because you had some names like Kevin Owens and whatever at the top of the card. But the undercard was just full of, like, B-Team, Apollo, No Way Jose. It was all just like... ugh. You had to sit there through, like, these matches that were just... I don't need to see blooming Apollo versus No Way Jose. Do you know what I mean? You want to see the stars? So, yeah, I kind of went and I wasn't really into it. The final few matches were good, but other than that, it was a bit... I kind of left a bit, not disappointed, but just a bit underwhelmed. So, and titles don't change hands all that often. I kind of feel like it's for the kids. I think it's either for the kids or if they come to your area where they never do, like, Raw and SmackDown tapings. So maybe they never record Raw and SmackDown. Maybe you don't have like a big arena or something, but WWE are coming. I can get that. I understand that. But all of that might go. And I really feel sorry for the kids. It's the kids. It's the kids, guys. Think about the kids. It's the kids that are going to miss out on seeing their favourite superstars because not everyone's going to be able to get to a Raw and a SmackDown because they tend to happen in the big arenas, you know, in the big cities. Well, what about those towns out in the sticks? What about them? So, it's big news. It's big news. AEW Dark Colt Cabana was ordered by Evil Uno to use Brody Lee's finisher. It was very interesting, says Matthew. Andre says, why do I feel like Vince is going to have Braun interfere in the championship match to help Big E win the Universal title? I don't feel that, if I'm being honest. I don't feel that. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Braun. It's going to be very interesting. Why is he not in that match? I know we keep coming back to it, but why is Braun not a number one contender? I don't know. Crystal, shout out to you, my friend. Thank you very much for the support. Really, really do appreciate it. Sue Hines says about the Authors of Pain. There's not really much to say about that. It's kind of come out of the blue. I don't know many people that were reporting it or expecting it. And by I don't know many people, I mean I don't know of anyone that was reporting it or expecting it. I didn't see any rumours or reports that they were on the chopping block. I can only imagine that it's down to injuries. They've had quite a few high-profile injuries. I think it's Akam that's been out for quite a while. You might remember that they were in the Monday Night Messiah. They were with Seth when this whole thing began, kind of at the start of the year. And then I think it was Akam that got injured. But I don't know what's happened now, because they've got rid of Akam and they've got rid of Razor. So have they requested their release? Or it's hard to know why they've let both go, because I don't think both were injured. I think it was only one that was injured. Be a bit strange for them both to get injured at the same time. So, and also a bit weird to let them go, because surely once they're ready to work again, they'll go to AEW. Like AEW, that's a great team to bring in. They got a great look. They can work. They were with Paul Ellering. Like, I don't know if Paul Ellering is under a WWE contract, but if AEW could bring Paul Ellering in, you know they would want to. They've already got the likes of Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. Bringing in Paul Ellering makes a lot of sense. And he was their manager in NXT. So, and obviously former manager of the Road Warriors as well. So, a very, very weird, very weird. I can only imagine it's got something to do with either AOP wanting to go, So WWE have fired them or released them, but it was actually AOP that wanted to leave, or it's a case of the injuries were too bad. But yeah, wasn't expecting it. Kind of really came out of the blue. Days in a way, it's good they're going to cancel house shows because the stars get a few days off and are less unhappy. But it's also bad because if they don't tape in the area, then you're going to miss it. Listen, we could spend the next 3 hours talking about house shows because they're so interesting. There's so much to them that I think that it's got pros and cons. I think that they can scale down house shows, but I really would not get rid of them. And it's not only because of those areas that don't get Raws and Smackdowns. There's another big factor to house shows. House shows help you understand what the audience wants and what they don't want, right? I know that sounds weird because you've got social media, but there's nothing quite like getting a live reaction. So you can tell what's working, you can tell what's hitting home, and a lot of feuds really benefit from being on house shows because they can try lots of different things that we don't see, and then they take the best of it and they put it into the stories and they put it onto TV and they use it in matches. I think it was Otis and Dolph Ziggler. I think Dolph Ziggler recently, very recently, came out and said if house shows had been on around WrestleMania time, that feud with Mandy and Sonya and Otis and Dolph, you know, the whole WrestleMania, that would have been so much better. Dolph was like, I've got no doubt about it because we try stuff on house shows and we really find our groove. We get a match, like, you know, we know what we're gonna do because we've done it 20 odd times on house shows. So you take that away and all of a sudden now, where's the rehearsing? It's so, honestly, it's so weird to think they're not gonna do them. I think they should still do some because where's the practice? Where's the rehearsal? Now it's just Raw, SmackDown, TV, do it first time. And wrestling has never been that way. Wrestling has always been, you try it on a house show and then what works makes it onto TV. So this is what I'm saying. It's really interesting. It's a massive deal if house shows go for loads of different reasons. Financially, for the traveling aspect, for, you know, did WWE even tour as much? Like, I mean, do they need to go to as many different places? Could they just film more Raws and Smackdowns at Staples and Barclays Center and just hit a few areas? I don't know. Like, it's really interesting. Really interesting. I can't imagine wrestling that's not touring around. That's what it's always done, you know? I heard that Paul joined with Roman so he can help Brock get Roman back, says Colin. So he can help Brock get Roman back. Oh, right. So what, Roman is going to lose to Brock ultimately? I don't know. I mean, the latest rumors are that Brock's not even under contract, is he? So, Future Compilations says fans need house shows. Adam says merchandise, which is a really good point. Yeah, merchandise. They sell a load of merch. I mean, WWE Shop obviously is very well established, and let me take this opportunity just to talk about Euroshop because you can save money. I don't get any commission, or I don't get anything, right? But if you use that code DAYS20, you can actually save £20, €20 when you spend £100, €100 on Euroshop using that code DAYS20. And I believe quite a few people have done it. I've had quite a few people sending me things on Twitter saying, you know, thanks, the code worked. I picked up this, and this. So if you have used it, amazing, brilliant. I'm really pleased you saved some money. So shout out to you. Why is Braun acting weird? Well, we might find out tonight. Lots of rumours that he's joining the Wyatt family. and we might get like the Fiend family, the Funhouse family. So yeah, I mean, it could be that he's kind of let his own darkness in. There's lots of theories that he's going to start wearing a mask. There's, lots of talk that there's been other masks made. So yeah, we're going to have to wait and see where it goes. It's very exciting. I mean, what's happening with Alexa as well? Hopefully we get some answers there tonight as well. So I really do feel like SmackDown has got a lot of very interesting things going on at the moment. So I really do like SmackDown. The fact that it's only a 2-hour show as well, I really appreciate that also. So, yeah, I do. I really look forward to Fridays. I really do. Kevin says they should just have less house shows. Interesting. Yeah, I agree. I think less is a better way forward. Because the benefit of less house shows is, it's not as strenuous on the wrestlers. Although the amount of money that they get paid, right? And the way that the business has always been, you'll have to excuse me if my heart doesn't break for them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I understand it's a hard life, but that's kind of a badge of honor, They always say, like, MMA fighters, they don't know how hard it is being a wrestler. We're on the road, 300 days a year, going from town to... Well, you can't say that anymore now, can you? Now you're not on the road 300 odd days a year. Now it looks like you're just going to be doing Raw, SmackDown tapings and maybe the odd big high-profile house show here and there. So I do think that it would be good. It's in their benefit, certainly from an injury point of view, to scale it back. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it plays out. Vince has heavily teased that they're drastically going to change house shows. Drastically. Like, they're gone. LSF Enterprises says, would you like some new thumbnails? I'm an editor, and you're one of my favorites. I think I'm all right, thank you. I think I'm all right. I'm kind of happy with where they are at the moment. I have tweaked them a little bit recently. But, no, I appreciate the offer, dude. SmackDown, Matthew says, feels far more prepared. Each segment has given time to breathe, and more often than not, it's got some structure. Raw is just a mess. I would agree with that. I think Daniel Bryan is doing some creative stuff backstage, and I will put my hands up and say, when that was announced a few weeks back that Daniel was working backstage, my reaction was, it doesn't matter, that Vince has got the final say. So it doesn't matter who's creating. They could have the greatest creative minds in the world. It's still got to be put into a script that's given to Vince for Vince to then go, no, we're going to do this instead. So for me, it doesn't really matter who's in creative. But I might be eating those words because I will stand by the fact that SmackDown has been much better than Raw past few weeks. Much better. Like a completely different company better. Raw the past few weeks has been really not that good. Really not that good. I don't know, because there was rumours about Shane taking over Raw as well and Bruce Pritchard stepping away. So I wonder if that's happening as well. I wonder if there's a transitional phase that's happening as like stories are being dropped and new ones are being introduced, and maybe we're just kind of caught in the middle. I don't know. It's all I know is that Raw just isn't hitting, isn't working for me. It's not even average really. I'm watching Raw and I'm just watching and waiting for it to end. I really am. Past couple of weeks have not been good, but SmackDown's been great. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight. And hopefully they can get Raw sorted. And I really don't know what the issues are. I won't be surprised if Eddie Kingston wins the Casino Battle Royal at All Out. Remember a few weeks ago when he got his boys in a huddle and he gave that scammer wink to camera, says Matthew. I'd love for him to win. I love Eddie Kingston. I think tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun as well. A lot of fun. They've made a few changes. They have announced that Britt Baker versus Big Swole tomorrow is a cinematic match. It is in the dentist office, as we were talking about on our predictions video. So, and they've moved it to the main show now as well. There's also a new match that's been added. So for the members watching, we do a little prediction game. I will have that post up after SmackDown tonight so that they can get their predictions through. I'm really pleased that we waited because there has been some movement on the card and there has been another match added. So I will get that added to the list and that will go up tonight. So I think the other match added is like Dark Order against Private Party, but it's John Silver and someone else I don't know. Apparently they're really getting over on Being the Elite. So if you watch the Being the Elite channel, these two Dark Order members are really popular, doing some really good stuff. They're on the pre-show now, anyway, taking on Private Party. Birak says, I can't believe that AOP has been released. Plus Seth is going to fall out with Buddy Murphy. Where will he find some other disciples? Oh, wow, there's tons of disciples for him. Loads of people that he can have from NXT if he wanted, or, you know, there'll be a draft soon, as we keep saying, so maybe he'll end up having someone like Shorty G, or, you know what I mean, like, there's loads. Do you think Brock will retire and go to AEW? No. I do think that he'll use AEW to get some more money, but I don't think he'll go there. He'll show Vince what he's been offered, and he'll be like, can you beat this? And he'll get some more money. That's how the world works. Alex Reynolds says, Chalmers, thank you. So there we go. Alex Reynolds and Silver are going to be taking on Private Party. Dr. Britt Baker, deleted by gamma rays, and she turns into the She-Hulk. I hope not. It would be unfortunate for UK fans if house shows get cancelled, as London is mostly used for TV tapings. That's a really good point. That's a good point. I mean, the only thing I would say is if they're going to come over, if they're going to fly all of the superstars over, would it make sense to cancel the house shows over here? I don't know. Because you do your TV tapings. I don't know. Maybe they will. They'll have to weigh it all up, won't they? It's all going to come down to how much money they make and how much it costs them to put the shows on. So if when they do Birmingham, for example, Newcastle, Leeds, Minehead, all these places that they do house shows, if they lose money doing them, you've got to say there's a good chance that they're not going to do them anymore. There's a really good chance they just won't do them. So you could be right. You could be looking at the UK tours, because they'll still come to the UK. But when they come, it'll be the Raw taping, the SmackDown taping. See you later. So just mentally prepare yourselves. That's all I'm saying. Mentally get ready. Get ready for a world where there's no WWE cameos, there's no WWE YouTube channels, and potentially there's no WWE house shows. I'm warning you in advance. Tebow Gaming says Vince doesn't want them on Twitch. Yep. That's another one. Twitch, YouTube, Cameo, anything that's not WWE owned, basically. Heather says, anyone else think it's completely stupid that Vince will probably make NXT stay on a Wednesday? That's another. How long have we got? That's another one that we can really get our teeth into, because there's pros and cons to it. If you move it to a Tuesday, you can get more viewers, right? Brilliant. That's what you want. Only problem is your competitor gets seemingly more viewers as well. When it's NXT against AEW, AEW tends to get about 750 to 800,000. Now they're getting 900,000 plus, because there's no NXT on Wednesday. So NXT's benefiting, but so is AEW. So are WWE looking at that and thinking to themselves, we need to put something up against it. We've got to. We're not knocking them out, but we are at least giving them a bit of a bloody nose. Do you know what I mean? We are at least roughing them up a little bit by putting NXT up against it. We are at least disrupting them a little bit. So it's hard. It's really hard to know what WWE are going to do because it's in their benefit to move to a Tuesday. But it's also going to work for AEW as well. Plus, if they do move to a Tuesday, AEW are going to be banging that drum so hard of we beat NXT. And that's not true. I mean, that won't be true. Yes, they will have got more ratings than them. Yes, NXT will have been the company that will have switched. But if WWE seriously wanted to take out AEW, they would be putting Roman, Fiend, all of these big names onto Wednesday. I mean, we just went through SummerSlam. Where was the NXT matches? We've just been through Payback. Where was the NXT matches? If WWE seriously wanted to make NXT competitive, then they would start using big names on NXT. I think they don't, because if you start putting big names on NXT, do you then start generating a lot of interest on a Wednesday for wrestling? Could it be that there's some people, casual fans, that still don't know about AEW, right? They watch Raw, they watch SmackDown, but they don't watch Wednesday. If you start getting them people to watch on a Wednesday, do they then discover AEW? Is that part of the reason why WWE don't use big names all the time on NXT? Could that be part of the reason why they actually move to a Tuesday? If they move to a Tuesday, will you then start seeing big names used in NXT more often? Because what you could do then is you could start to use The Fiend, you could start to use big names on NXT a little more often. I'm not saying like make it a third brand like just full of big names, but you could use it more on a Tuesday, knowing that you're not going to help your competitors at all. Like if people watch on a Tuesday, they're not going to accidentally find AEW when they're flicking through the channels. There's a lot to think about, and there's a lot to... AEW will claim that they won if NXT moves, and as I've just said, I don't see that. I really don't think that's a thing. But do they get more viewers? Yes, definitely. Yes, they do. And I think they've had the better show. But Vince is going to have to weigh all this up. Does he kind of keep giving them a bit of a bloody nose on a Wednesday, slow their progress down? Or does he get out of the way and improve the numbers for NXT and maybe do a little bit more with it? It's interesting stuff. Days, maybe if they come to the UK, they could do Raw and SmackDown for 2 weeks. Like 1 week in London and another week in Manchester. Maybe. I mean, the only thing I would say to that is that you're making the tour longer, not really for any benefit, other than you can just go to a different part of the UK. But think of the hotel costs. Think of, that surely the longer they spend in the UK, the more money WWE is going to have to pay out. And the benefit is what? You get to go to a different city that's a few hours away. Like, I don't know. I don't know that they would do that. I think that I wonder if they might do taped Raws. No, you can't, can you? Because then all the spoilers will come out. I was just thinking you could do like Monday in London, and then you could tape next week's Raw in Manchester on the Wednesday, and it gets shown on the Monday. But you can't do that because the spoilers would be everywhere. So it's really difficult. It's really, really difficult to know how they're going to do it. And that's why it's such an interesting subject. So, yeah. Days, finally caught my wall mount king salmon on Lake Michigan. It weighed 37 pounds. Shout out to you, BBBYPSI. 15 minutes we are. 15 minutes. Z2CU says, did you know that Ricochet is in a video on YouTube with over 10 million views? I didn't know, no. Is that the match against Ospreay? I don't know. I don't know what that video is. Rockstar says, Stace, how does WWE tape Raw and SmackDown? Just curious. What? I don't know what you mean. I mean, they don't at the moment. They do tape it in the UK. I mean, I suppose when you think about it, they do tape it anyway, but it hasn't got a great deal of time for the spoilers to get out there. When they're in the UK, you go to the show at like a normal time for us, so 7:30, say, in the evening, and it finishes at about 10 at night. But of course, 10 at night here is 5 over in the US, because you're 5 hours behind over there. So it starts at 7, that's 2 in the US. Finishes at 10, that's 5 in the US. And then a couple of hours later, it's on TV. So, like 3 hours later or whatever, it's on TV. So, there's like a slight delay that at the moment when they're in the UK, it's not live when they come to the UK, but it's only a few hours out. So, I can't see it being a few days, because a few days, the spoilers are out there. Everyone will have seen them. You're not going to be able to avoid them. I think people can largely avoid them at the moment when it's getting taped in the UK. But, yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting. Mohammed says, SmackDown has been really good lately. Raw hasn't. However, only really watch Raw when I'm watching these streams. You make it fun. Shout out to you, Muhammad Ali. Thank you to everyone that's joining us as well. I ain't got any idea how many people are joining us. I don't even care. I can just see that there's a lot of excitement in the chat, and I always love to see that because it gets me more excited as well. And I am genuinely looking forward to this because it's not a go-home show. We're quite a distance away from the next pay-per-view, so any stories that need to be told, they're likely going to start now, or, you know, we're in the middle of them now, so it's a really interesting time to have a good few weeks till the next pay-per-view. Plus, we're going to hear from Roman and Paul Heyman. Plus, we've got that number one contenders match. Plus, we need to know what's happening with The Fiend and Alexa. Plus, we need to know what's happening with Sasha and Bayley. And it's only 2 hours rather than a boring 3 hours on Raw, which they really struggle to book 3 hours. 2 hours, it's a lot better. 2 hours is a lot better. So, yeah, looking forward to it, man. It should be a good show tonight. JS17 says, did you hear that Brock reportedly turned down a UFC contract, which means he is probably going to stay in wrestling and probably WWE? I didn't hear that he turned down a contract. What I heard is that he hasn't made himself available for the USADA testing. And the USADA testing is to check that you're not using drugs, that you're clean, that you're, you know, competing and ready to compete and you're not cheating at all. Now, I'm not saying that Brock is cheating or anything. I'm not saying that he's using steroids or anything like that. I'm just saying that he hasn't made himself available for USADA to test him, to check him, and you cannot fight unless you are being checked and tested by USADA. So it looks like he is not going to go to UFC, which is a real shame. It is a real shame because I think there was an opportunity to do one fight. In fact, he could have done 2. He could have done as many as he wanted. But I know that the fight against Daniel Cormier was meant to happen. Daniel Cormier is a massive WWE fan, former light heavyweight champion, former heavyweight champion as well. They were meant to do that fight, and it never worked out, but that would be big, big money. People would love to see that. An even bigger fight, though, would have been Brock against John Jones. John Jones is regarded as the greatest ever MMA fighter. He's currently in the UFC. He's now moving to the heavyweight division. He's now going up to the heavyweight division. Brock said he would only fight John Jones if he moved to heavyweight. And that's exactly what he's done. So there was a lot of excitement. Even Dana White came out and just went, look, I'd like to go on record and say that if Brock wants that fight, I will make that fight. I mean, of course he would. Of course he would. Like that, millions and millions of dollars to be made there. So he said that he'll make it. So all Brock's got to do is say, give me the fight. Go into the USADA testing and they'll have him. UFC will take him. And that would be one of the biggest fights in the history of UFC. But he's not doing it seemingly. So, yeah, I think he will come back to wrestling. I think he will use AEW as leverage to get even more money out of WWE. And I think he stays with WWE. Days, I'm going to join AEW when I'm older, says Gorge Mogul. Awesome, dude. Gustafsson can't retire. It's a free championship to pick up. 9 minutes remaining. Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Miscount1 says, I'd really enjoy seeing a top NXT talent accidentally upsetting the Fiend and him turning up on NXT out of the blue. Yeah, I do think that the reason why they don't do that is because I'm starting to wonder now, is it a case that they don't want to get people to really be watching on a Wednesday? I know that sounds stupid, right? Because they have a show on a Wednesday and of course they want people to watch it. But they could have done so much more. You have to question, why didn't they do more? Why haven't they used more main roster stars? Why are they having segments on a regular basis where they're using the likes of Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, Damian Priest, Mia Yim? You know, these are like good talents, but they're not talents that are going to really be bringing viewers in. And I understand the argument that you need to, you know, build new stars. But these are people that you see like week in, week out. There's definitely room for a Daniel Bryan, a Kevin Owens. You know, there's definitely room for some of those names. And you've got to question why they haven't used those names more. You've also got to question why they don't use NXT at pay-per-views. Like, they could really promote NXT on pay-per-views, on SummerSlam with NXT. Why was the title not defended at SummerSlam? And I know people are saying it was defended the night before or whatever. You're telling me they can't do 2 nights in a row? Because we know that they can. Or don't book it for TakeOver. There's enough other matches that you can book. Do the title match at SummerSlam. Like, you can book a women's match, title match. You can book the tag title match. You can book a North American match. You could do a grudge match. There's enough matches that you can do for TakeOver. And just save the men's titles match. Put that onto... I mean, they kind of did it with WrestleMania. The women's title was defended at WrestleMania. They could have done the men's title at SummerSlam, but they didn't. So it's a bit strange. They could have done a lot more. And you have to look at it and think, I wonder if they just don't want casual fans tuning in on a Wednesday. Perhaps they're actually quite happy with where they are. They'd maybe like a bit more. Ideally, they would like to be beating AEW. But do they want NXT getting 2 million viewers a week? Because what happens when you accidentally find AEW and you never knew about it? That could be a problem. So WWE maybe don't want to promote Wednesday too much. And I just wonder if that's going to factor into their thought process of moving it to a Tuesday. You move it to a Tuesday, you can promote it all you want, because no one's finding AEW on a Tuesday. It's not on. So I think that's really interesting. Really interesting. I wonder if actually they move it to a Tuesday and all of a sudden it becomes a bigger deal. Because don't forget, we got the draft coming up as well. The draft's coming up. And you'd have to think there's going to be some movement. So it's interesting. It's really interesting. There's a lot of interesting things happening in wrestling right now. Z2CU says, consider me your stats guide. Pay-per-view events that took place on Mother's Day. WWE in your House 15. Very cool. Karate Buff says, Stace, do you remember the superstar shakeup from last year on Raw? Last year, Becky versus Ruby. Lars Sullivan, EC3. Look where we are now. Oh, yeah, they're desperate for one. They're desperate to move things around. I mean, there's so much that they need to tweak and fix and change. I mean, for starters, we know absolutely for fact that AJ Styles does not want to be on the same brand as Paul Heyman. They've got to get that fixed. So they've got to kind of split them apart. So we know that. We also know that, there's a bit of problems when you look at like the tag division. It's not quite right. Both tag divisions are just absolutely depleted. So they really need to maybe put some people together, create some new teams, or I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do with their tag divisions. You would feel like they need to call some tag teams up. I mean, with the Usos out and AOP out and New Day not active at the moment. You've got Viking Raiders, you got Street Profits, they had to put Cesaro Nakamura together. Lucha House Party? I don't know. Like, honestly, it's just awful. It's just, the tag divisions are in the toilet. I've never known the tag divisions this bad. So, they need a refresh. They need to look at their divisions. They need to maybe build some more teams. There's a lot, man. There's a lot that they need to fix and tweak and change. And I could see Undisputed Era coming up. I could see some big names going down to NXT. Maybe NXT moves to a Tuesday. I don't know. It's all interesting stuff. Chalmers says AEW Dark, but that's on YouTube, isn't it? So that's not no one's going to find that as they're flicking through the channels unless they put Dark on a Tuesday on network TV. But apparently that's not the plan. Tony Khan says there is a second show coming. It's going to come within the next year, but it's not Dark. Dark will stay on YouTube. So basically they're getting a Thunder. They're getting a second show that's going to be like Dynamite. But yeah, no details yet. AOP got released. They did, yes. Hello, RJ Madma. Shout out to you. J14 says, I was in the Thunderdome for 205 Live. They have just recorded it. Very cool. Dace, do you see the end of this being the end of the Golden Role Models? I think you've got to say that we are definitely close. We're definitely in the neighborhood of this team. You can see the cracks. You can actually see the cracks. Sasha giving Bayley some very dirty looks, tweeting out that she wasn't the one that tapped. They're going to have an opportunity tonight to try and win back the titles, but we're going to have to see if that actually works. I don't think it will. Will we see the split tonight? You've got to think there's a really good chance it's going to happen. So, big show, man. AEW Light, says Esteban. Days, what about the Forgotten Sons? What about the Forgotten Sons? They're living up to their name. Alexa Bliss love angle with Bray Wyatt tonight. AOP will go to AEW, says Rangers fan. Monica King says, I think it's a good idea if they bring The Fiend to NXT. AEW would have to do it bigger every time it shows up. At first, they wouldn't see it coming. It's interesting. What's also interesting is we are going over, my friends. Look at this, no alarm. I got there before the alarm sounded. We are going over to SmackDown. SmackDown is beginning. So what have they got in store for us tonight? Licking my lips at this. This should be a really good show. And it should, you would think, start with Roman. I'd imagine Roman's going to come out with Paul Heyman. I'm totally expecting Paul Heyman to do the talking. The reigning, defending, Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. It's going to be weird hearing Paul Heyman doing all that. I'm just finding out about AEW Dynamite, says Chalmers. I know this sounds stupid, but what if Brock returns? They could have a tag team, says Dylan. I don't think that's stupid, Dylan. I like the idea of a Heyman family. I really like the idea of Heyman having a few people together. I'm totally down with a faction war. I'm totally down with it. I got no issue with it. I think you could have a Funhouse family and a Heyman family and Undisputed Era and New Day comeback. And do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you could do that if that's a direction that WWE wanted to go in. They did. There was reports that they are looking to bring in a lot of factions. There are reports that they kind of want to use. I mean, factions were a big part of the Attitude Era. If you think about like the Ministry of Darkness, the Brood, the Nation of Domination, DX, like there was quite a few factions. So seemingly they could be going that way again. Hi there, Daisy baby. Shout out to you, Ryan. Hope you are well. AEW Dark tonight, All Out pay-per-view tomorrow, says Adam. Love how they're putting the time on screen when things occurred. Yeah, we've just got a video package right now just showing us Payback, and it just shows like the main event started at this time, the ring broke at this time, Roman came out at this time, Roman was champion at this time. It is cool. It's a good video package, but if you're not watching SmackDown, maybe you're at work or whatever, you're not missing anything at the moment. The Heyman Guys. I like that name. The Heyman Guys. Who said that? Gavin E. Shout out to you. Daze, did you hear that AJ had tested positive, says Biruk. I did, yeah. Obviously, thoughts are with him, but I believe he's got through it now. This was about 3 weeks ago or so, a month ago, and obviously he's back now, so I think he's cleared and everything. I think he said it wasn't that bad, but The Rock said that it was really bad for him and his wife. So I think The Rock really struggled with it, but thankfully his daughters, they just had mild symptoms. So thankfully his daughters had it, but they were fine. And it seemed like Rock and his wife really suffered. So just stay safe, man. I was out earlier today, and the amount of people, like schools, there's no social distancing in schools here in the UK. Here we go. Boos are being piped in. Why are they booing? Why are they playing fake boos? I've never been so into Roman ever. Roman Reigns making his way down. They are putting in. He's got a shirt. This is really interesting because they only trademarked that yesterday. Or news came through that the trademark had come through yesterday. Roman is wearing a shirt that says show up and win. And that trademark was only applied for yesterday is when I saw the news report that they'd got it. So show up and win. Wreck everyone and leave. Show up and win. He holds up the Universal Championship. They're playing boos. So clearly WWE want us to be booing him. I'm not booing him. Yay! Roman! 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 Big dog! Big dog! Big dog! Big dog! I have never been so into Roman. Bury everyone and leave. That's what it should say. Butterspark. Bury everyone and leave. Make Vince dollar. Make Vince money. Cash, cash, cash. I don't care what it says. Roman, Roman, Roman. The big dog's here, guys. The big dog. I need some big dog merch. Where's my big dog merch? Have I got any big dog? Here we go, look. I've got big dog merch. Believe that. Believe that. I've got my armband. I've got my keychain. Here we go, look. Putting it on. Roman, Roman. I'll do all that Roman now. Look at this. I've got my keychain as well. There we go. Look, Roman Reigns. Yeah, Roman, Roman. Have I got any other Roman things? Where's all my Roman stuff? I haven't even got a Roman figure. I've got to have a Roman figure somewhere. Oh, I need to go out and buy a lot more Roman merch. That's what I've learned. Normally they're shoving Roman stuff down your throat, but I haven't got anything apart from a wristband and a keychain. Believe that. Moda says, I've said it before, that Lesnar and Reigns could be the new two-man power trip, just like Stone Cold and Triple H. Here we go. Look, Heyman gonna do some talking. Go on. Here we go. Just when you thought it was out, he pulled me back in. Just when you thought I was out, he pulled me back in. He says, don't point your corrupting him. I assure you, it's him corrupting me. Roman's corrupted Paul Heyman. What does that mean? He said I was gone. Tossed aside. Thrown into obscurity. I was rescued. I was saved. Look at Roman, man. Roman just standing there, looking down the cat. He is a badass. Oh, Roman. I need more Roman stuff. Like now. I'm looking around for any Roman items. I've got a Roman item. Hang on. Yes. Woo! Roman. He is bad, man. That is going to make a great figure. Believe that. I am so on board the Roman train. Ah, so good. So good. Look at that look. I think I'm falling in love. Right now. What did you do with his championship? The Fiend. A Fiend is not born to reign as champion. Oh, he looks like $1 million, doesn't he? He looks like an absolute $1 million. Paul Heyman ripping into Braun. It's like, imagine tuning into Fox and listening to Braun being interviewed. What's it like being the biggest star? Great choice. Family, tradition, legacy. This is Paul Heyman doing Paul Heyman things, man. This is a great promo. On Raw, they have a triple threat. Vince rewrote the Brock story with Roman. It's awesome. Yeah, he's just standing and staring, man. No stupid promos. Heyman speaking some, well, his truth. There was no reigning, defending. There was none of that. It very much feels like he's just talking to us directly. Oh! He calls Corey Graves Carmella's latest boyfriend. Anderson Cooper and Carmella's latest boyfriend over there can hype up the tonight. Get it through your thick and... Yeah, he's talking to you. I love Roman. I appreciate Roman. He's talking to you. My name. He seems angry. Even Paul is angry. is Paul Heyman, and I serve as special counsel to the tribal chief. You're defending. This is a different Paul as well. Oh my god, I'm loving everything about this. They've just knocked that out of the park. There isn't even a park anymore. They've blown the park up. Roman looks down. Is he going to say, believe that? No, I'm a man of my word. I did exactly as I said I would do. I signed the contract. I wrecked the Fiend. I wrecked the Monster. This is so good. Yeah, and you got lovely teeth. Lovely teeth. They're like Tic Tacs. Roman, man of my word, Roman speaks. Oh, shouting. It's all very low, slow. There's no need to shout. All you got to do is show up and win. Believe that. Still the same awful music. Still the same awful music. But a very different Roman. A very different Paul Heyman. The promo was so quiet, so slow, so gripping. Like, you're listening to every word, and it just feels like they don't care if you are hearing them, if you're listening. They're going to say what they want to say. They're not going to jazz it up with the reigning defendant. No. I'm going to talk to you. I'm literally going to actually talk. And we're going to explain a few things. That it's Roman that's corrupting me. I'm not corrupting Roman. It's not what you expected. It's not what I expected from a Paul Heyman promo. But it was felt very real. It felt very gripping. It felt a bit dark. It was gripping. I don't even... How long was that? 13 minutes or whatever? I could not have been more entertained. There was nothing better they could have done. It was awesome, man. Natalie says, I like special counselor. Yeah. Not advocate. Special counselor. There was a lot of change there, wasn't there? There was a lot of change. Oh, that was good. That was good. If you're a Roman fan, let me know. Is there Roman fans watching this? How do you feel? How do you feel? I mean, like, are you gutted that he's turned heel? Or are you just pleased because this is the best he's ever been? Because this is the best he's ever been. Like, I am so on board. I am so on board. A stable with the Usos teased. Awful music. Yeah, I hate the music. I've never been a fan of the music. Methodical. Great word. Great word it was. It was methodical. Otis just came out, did a little cartwheel. I don't know why. Roman is going to spear Corbin. That was so good, says Matthew. I loved it, said Fade. I love it. It was amazing, says Sue. Kyle says, I'm a Roman fan and I love it. Noah says, Days, was that the best promo of the year? I'm not going to say the best promo of the year. I think there's been some incredible promos this year. I kind of feel like Orton and Edge have done some amazing promos this year. Edge in particular. Really grip. Orton as well. I mean, both of them. Incredible. It is a great promo, though. It is a great promo because you have an idea of what you're going to see. You have an expectation of what you're going to see from Paul Heyman. You don't quite know what he's going to say, but you know his delivery, right? I mean, we all reigning, defending. Like, you know that's how Paul Heyman does. That's how he's always done it. I wasn't expecting Paul Heyman to change his delivery. I wasn't expecting a change in Paul because Paul has always been a heel. So why would Paul change? But he did. So it made it feel even more fresh, even like, you know, kind of more jarring, if you will. So loved it. Roman standing there looking like a badass, looking like $1 million, just standing with a little expression on his face, just, well, kind of expressionless, really, just kind of there with the belt. Looked awesome. Paul Heyman, methodical, says Butterspark, and I think that's a great word. Really just talking and not getting over animated. Loved how he said, you know, Anderson Cooper and Carmella's latest boyfriend can sell you the match later and all of this. Like, they're just, they are the hottest thing going, and they know it. And they know it. So, loved it. Yeah, it's a brilliant promo. It's a brilliant, brilliant promo. Days, I've never seen heel Roman before. None of us have. None of us have. He did a little bit of heel stuff. I suppose when the Shield first came in, the Shield were heels for a time, taking on like Daniel Bryan and Kane and things like that. But we haven't seen a heel Roman since he went solo. So, I love Roman, says Dylan. Yowie wowie, says C Wrestling. Shout out to you. Shay says, this is the hottest thing in wrestling. That was awesome. Noah says, love the close-ups of Roman. Roman is the best heel, believe that. Wavy Gang says, Days, we just watched the Shield evolve over the years. They did evolve over the years. Yes, they did evolve. Is Roman going to be another absent Brock Lesnar champion? I don't think so, because I don't think he's got that type of contract. So, no, I'm not expecting him to be absent, but yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. He's already been absent. He's already been away long enough. Roman will lose at Clash of Champions. I'm not sure. I don't know. Do you? That's the most interesting thing they've done with Roman for like 5 years, maybe even longer. Do you take the title off him now that he's got it? I don't know that you do. Right, we're backstage with Roman. Hello, someone clap him. Oh, Usos! The whole family's proud. Chris says that sucked. I think you're going to be in the minority, bud. Paul Heyman goes. Can I ask you something? What's the deal with Paul? Roman says he's got it all under control. Let me handle this. Hit me up. I love you. I gotta go. Let's get a steak after the show. Okay, well, interesting. I hope they're not teasing. I hope they're not teasing that Roman's playing Paul. I don't want Roman to be playing Paul. I want proper heel Roman. I don't want Roman in disguise. I want, because it was like, listen, I got this. It's all under control. Don't worry. I got it. Hopefully he's playing, was that Jimmy Uso? I think it was Jimmy Uso. John Morrison coming out. We got Miz and Morrison making their way out. We got Heavy Machinery in the ring. Nathan says, rumor is that Lesnar's going to come back and Paul will screw over Reigns and Lesnar will become new champ. I hope not. I hope not, because this right now is money. Miz and Morrison versus Heavy Machinery. If they turn Roman face, it'll just be back to where we were. How long do you think Roman will keep the Universal title? I think it's his for a while. I really do. I think it's his for a while. I just don't know why you'd want to take it off him. This is huge. Roman's their biggest star, and they're doing something very interesting with him. I'm just keeping everything crossed that it's absolutely not just a short story, and they're gonna flip him to being a face. Go on Heavy Machinery, says Gorge. Reigns versus Usos, says James. Someone give me a rundown of what Roman said. Roman didn't say very much. He just said that he told us all what he was going to do, and he did it. But it was Paul that was doing the talking. It was Paul saying that he was tossed aside. He was thrown out. It's Roman that's corrupting Paul, not Paul that's corrupting Roman. And it was very interesting. It was very good. It was very gripping. I think the sign of a good promo is you could quite happily keep watching it. I wasn't bored. I was thoroughly entertained. If that had gone another 10 minutes, I would have been absolutely fine. A hot open for me. A really hot open. I'm a Roman Reigns fan, says BBBYPSI, but The Fiend has now been screwed twice on holding the Universal title. Only a 1-week reign is an insult to us fans, says BBBYPSI. Liam says, am I surprised Miz and Morrison are still a tag team? I thought they would be split by now. I suppose. Yeah, I suppose. They might be waiting for the draft. I don't know. For me, I'm not a fan of Miz and Morrison. I don't even think they're that great of a team. But, and I don't even know is Heavy Machinery really a team? Because Otis has got the briefcase, hasn't he? So I kind of feel like they're teasing an Otis singles run. It's just a mess. The tag division's just a mess. Sister Abigail is coming, says Gorge. Paul Carpenter says AOP released. WTF. Yeah, I mean, we don't know the reasons. It could be they requested it. It could be that the injuries are too bad. It could be a plethora of things. I don't think they've just released them. I think there has to be something more. It's got to be either the injuries are too bad or they wanted to leave, or it's got to be something like that. Can we please have the Morrison Impact Lucha Underground Morrison show up, says Jeremy. Austin says this is going to be a boring tag match. Braxton Natron says, I loved Roman as a face. I'm a Roman fan. I didn't see. Man, the chat is on fire. People have got lots of opinions on what we've seen so far and how Brock is going to fit into it. Dave in real life says, Brock not signing is a money thing. He will be back soon once Vince gives him more money. ROFL says, Days, my friends make fun of me because my favourite superstar is Asuka. They say, why is your favourite superstar a woman? Listen, mate, if people are asking you why Asuka is your favourite, I think the only thing to do is just punch them in the face. I can't think of anything else because clearly they either don't watch wrestling or they're just idiots, right? And either way, it's up to them. Just say to them, look, you either don't watch wrestling, right? Or you do watch wrestling and for some reason you don't appreciate Asuka. It's up to you which one it is. Either result ends in me punching you in the face. That is the exact conversation I would have. Unless your friends are bigger, then I would just probably leave it. But if they're smaller and you can easily punch them, then I would definitely do it. If they're bigger and there's a chance they might hit back, don't bother. If they're smaller and you can quickly, you know what I mean, get one in there before they get one back, I would definitely do that. Although, fun fact, ROFL, I don't know how old you are. You might be young and impressionable. Definitely don't do that. The last thing I need is that kind of heat. Last thing I need is you going up to your friends and punching them and then blaming it on me. Because I know you'll dob me in it, right? I know the first thing you'll say is, oh, no, Daze told me to. Daze said it was all right, yeah. And I don't need that kind of grief, right? So let's just say it was a joke. But we know better, yeah. Rumor has it Otis will be drafted to Raw, and he will cash in on either the WWE champ or the United States champ. Well, it'll be very interesting, actually, if he does get drafted to a different brand and he's still got that briefcase. I don't know what he's going to do. It's hard to see how he fits in. They need to build him up. And I don't know how they're going to do it. They've kind of lost a lot of time. So, is anyone going to... I feel like people will care when he finally cashes in, because it's still a cash-in. It's still an exciting moment, but I do feel as well like they could really be doing a much better job. Kevin says, how long do you think Roman is going to keep the Universal Championship? Hard to say, but I think he's going to have it for quite a while. I don't think this is a quick thing. I think he's going to comfortably retain it for quite a while. Boom! Morrison gets slammed down. Morrison in the corner. Big splash by Otis. Morrison up, looking for a kick. Nice Enziguri. Springboard Enziguri. Heather says Asuka might be my favourite female superstar next to Chyna. She is mine. I completely agree. I've got her up there with Alundra Blaze as well. Why is no one talking about the little briefcase that Otis is holding with him? We have seen him carrying it before. He's had it backstage. I don't know if he's brought it to the ring before, but I think, does he keep sandwiches in there or something? I don't know. I think it's just a way of them promoting something that they sell on WWE Shop or Euro Shop, and you can use the code DAYS20 to save £20 or €20 when you spend 100 at Euro Shop. Once again, let me remind you, I make nothing from that. I am only mentioning that for your benefit, but it was just so easy to drop it in. It was there, the opportunity was there, and I took it. We're on the outside with Morrison and Tucker. Tucker is down. Days, what if they unified the titles and Roman faced Drew? That would be epic. That would be epic. I'd love it. I think there should only be one world champion. Same for the women as well. That's a large part of the problem as to why Charlotte has had so many world title reigns, because she keeps picking up like the Raw, SmackDown titles, and they're seemingly world titles, even though the women's divisions on both brands are not that big. So, yeah, she's like, what, 10-time champ now or something? Big collision by Otis. I gotta tell you, I'm tempted to buy a Roman t-shirt, right? I am tempted to get a Roman t-shirt. My concern is that they're gonna have him turn on Paul, and it's all gonna have been like, he's gonna have used Paul just to get the title, and now he's gonna go face again, and I don't want that. Big splash by Otis. 2, 3, boom. Heavy Machinery have won. Well done to them. Heavy Machinery. Is the Hacker the leader of Retribution? I don't think so. How many is $1 in the US? Because I live in the US. John Morrison has stolen the Money in the Bank contract. Do you mean how much is a pound to dollar? I think it's about 70p or something. So, like, $20 is, I don't know, £16, something like that. It's always just a bit below. Okay, well, happy birthday cake backstage. Is it Drew Gulak's birthday? We've got Big E, Drew Gulak. Xavier's back! Xavier's back, and it's Xavier's birthday? When? So, there we go, Big E. Says he's ready. Let's go. Who's this guy? Xavier Woods has arrived. This is going to be interesting, man. What if he's got like a black hoodie on? Oh, Sheamus. Sheamus attacked. Sheamus attacked. It isn't Xavier. The cake's on the floor. Sheamus throwing Big E into the shutter. Oh, big brogue. Down goes Big E. A big brogue for Big E. It wasn't Xavier Woods. If it is Xavier Woods, he's really changed. He's really changed. 'Cause he looks a lot like Sheamus now. Daze, do you think WWE lets fans wear shirts from previous gimmicks? Yeah. Hey, look. As long as you've spent money with them, they don't care. They don't want you wearing AEW merch or anything, but... He's on a car here, Sheamus. Sheamus on top of a car. He's going to drive Big E through. Oh, man. Plants him through the windscreen. Are they writing Big E out of this match? He's just got planted through the windscreen. Wow. Sheamus always ruining everything. Daze, do you think WWE... Oh, we spoke about that. William Hensey! Wow, DJ's birthday and it's being celebrated on SmackDown. William Hensey, shout out to you. Had a great... honestly, I had such a great chat with William Hensey. It was one of those where I wanted to throw over to people in the chat and I wanted to include people's questions and everything. But the more we were talking, the more I had questions of my own. And before I knew it, we'd been talking for like an hour and 20 odd minutes. So I did say to William, I was like, man, I'm going to have to apologize to people because I never threw over to their questions and I didn't do the things that I kind of had
William
planned.
Hensey is a legend.
But yeah, shout out to you, man.
They donated $20 via
really
super chat.
chat.
Wow. DJ's birthday today and being celebrated live on SmackDown. Smiley face.
There we go. Tony's birthday tomorrow as well. They're celebrating that as well, Tony. Story idea. Why not have Big E win the match tonight, but have him lose, get a few massive wins, and then he can challenge Roman for the title at WrestleMania? I don't know if he's just been written out of tonight, though. I don't know. I don't know if that's what that moment might have done. I'm not sure. Hard to say. I would love it if Big E would win the match tonight, get the opportunity. I've got no... I think Roman's heel. I don't think a heel wins. I don't think Sheamus wins. I don't think that King Corbin wins. I think it's between Big E and Matt Riddle. Big E, you would have to say, is more established. You would have to say he's the favourite tonight. But I don't know what that's just done. I don't know if he's out of the match now. Is tonight's match going to have a surprise entry? A Big E replacement? Or is it now going to be a triple threat? Or maybe it does still carry on as planned. So they've put a little bump in the road for us. I like that. So, yeah, not bad show, man. I wasn't really feeling the tag match, but great promo to start the show. Really enjoyed that. That last segment was all right. I was into that. Nice little bump in the road. We've still got some big moments to come as well. So, good show, man. It's a good show. That could be the end of Big E in the match tonight, says Liam. You could be right, buddy. Matthew Haggerty says, hey, man, first time donating. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate the support. Matthew says, really enjoy the videos. Also love the fact that you ooze positivity. I ooze a lot during lockdown. Always got a smile on your face, and I dig that. Shout out to you, buddy. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the donation and the support. Really appreciate it. So shout out to Matthew Haggerty. I think there's just a lot to be like really excited about with wrestling at the moment. I kind of feel like, credit to it. It managed to continue, and I know a lot of people said that it shouldn't, but for me in particular, it was a welcome distraction. I can't imagine what the pandemic would have been like without wrestling. If all the wrestling had shut down, can you imagine month after month after month of no wrestling? I can't imagine it. So, credit to them to keeping the ball rolling. And even though there was a lot of awful stuff, there was some really good stuff that was done as well. And obviously cinematic matches and just loads of really interesting things gone down. And now, we're finding ourselves where we've got the Thunderdome, the Amway Center. We got All In tomorrow. It's just a lot of good stuff going on at the moment. What's not good is Big E's condition, because they're just showing us EMTs having a look at Big E, just checking that his neck's all right and everything's okay, but it doesn't look great. He hasn't moved. He's still on the car windscreen. We've got Kayla Braxton on the scene though. There could be serious internal injuries. All I'm going to say is that everyone's talking about Big E, but what about the car? Someone owns that car. That car's got serious internal injuries as well. Kayla asking Sheamus, did you set this up as an ambush on purpose? SMB says, what did you think of what Sheamus did? Maybe WWE are going to go further out of PG. Seems like they're getting a lot more dark. Also, Fiend's next feud. Well, I think he's stuck in a program with Roman. I don't think he's going to be done with Roman now. Roman's burst onto the scene and seemingly is a heel, and I think the Fiend will have a few matches with Roman. Feel free to let me know if you think it'll be someone different, but that would make the most sense. So I'm expecting Fiend Roman. In regards to what he's just done, I thought it was really cool. They're talking to Sheamus at the moment, Kayla is, and in the background we're watching Big E get loaded onto a stretcher. I don't think he's making the match tonight. Why does Sheamus look like an Irish bartender? I like his look. I think it's a bit more interesting. Put AJ Styles in instead, says Shay. Maybe they will. Fella, says your boy, maybe Fella will go in. Fella! Sheamus says, can't stand around here. I've got a big match to get ready for. And so he walks away. Oh, he's back. Hello. Guess who's back? Back again. He says it's probably going to be a triple threat match, actually. And there we go. Kayla is disgusted. Kayla's like shaking her head. She can't believe it. She's so angry. She's beside herself with anger. So there's going to be updates regarding Big E, but I think it's fair to say he's out. Liam says, I reckon Big E is out. Right, they're talking about Shayna and Nia, so we might be moving over to the women's tag match. Michael says, who do you think will replace Big E? I think the AJ Styles shout is a good shout. Might explain why they took the Intercontinental Championship off of him. If we get AJ, does that mean we get Joseph Park? If we're going to get Joseph Parks, can you imagine AJ with Joseph Parks in his corner taking on Roman with Paul I want to see Paul Heyman and Joseph Parks face to face. That's what I want. So I am so on board the AJ idea. Roman against AJ, that'd be an awesome match. The only problem is it'd be heel versus heel, wouldn't it? It'd be heel versus heel. Oh, I don't know. I want it. I do want it. Modern Mogul says, what if the Fiend heals Roman? If that happens, I will get on a plane. I will go to America. I will find the Fiend. And I will punch him in the face. Because this is the most interesting thing they've done with Roman. And you can. Yeah? So if he's going to wreck it now, I will punch him in the face. We got Bayley and Sasha backstage with this new woman. Talking about can they get the tag titles back. Is there a point to this? SMB says, I reckon they have taken Big E out so that he can save that match for later. I reckon it will be AJ. I think that Matt will win, though. Oh, okay. God, that's a big push for Matt Riddle, isn't it? Bailey says that they're going to win back their tag team championships. Who the hell do you think you are? Sasha, who is this girl? We saw her last week. I can't remember her name. Boobs McGrew. That's her name. Booby boob boob. I mean, honestly, do you know what I mean? She could have wore something a bit more covered up. I might be the only person saying that, in all fairness, but... Up next, it is the Women's Tag Team Championship rematch. Sasha was looking at the SmackDown title. Yeah, she's been doing that. Days, that's twice you've said to solve things by punching people in the face, says Rob. Yeah, it's my new favorite thing to do. I've decided that I'm not going to do constructive conversations anymore. I'm just going to start punching people in the face. But, and I've got to stress this, only if they're smaller. Only if they're bigger, don't bother. I don't actually know how big the Fiend is because I've never seen him. I'm hoping he's about like this. And then, do you know what I mean? I'll feel very comfortable with punching him in the face. If he's any bigger than this, I wouldn't bother. I'd just leave it. I'd probably write an angry letter. Sasha is definitely going for the title, says Gabriella. RJ Madma says, Days, what if CM Punk gets involved with Roman? That would be huge. Barbara says, do you miss Mae Young? Not really, if I'm being honest. I mean, she was a legend. She was someone, though, that you never really saw that much in WWE back in the day. She was around quite a bit during the Attitude Era. But by then, she was already an elderly lady. I don't think that's unfair. She was already an elderly lady. But, like, when she was in a prime, which I think was, like, the 60s, maybe even the 50s. Just not, I don't know. You know, there's no tape of her. There's no classic matches to kind of go back to. Yeah, she's a legend. I'm not denying that. And she's much loved in WWE, but it's hard to say that you miss her because there's not really much we saw of her apart from what you saw during the Attitude Era. And by then, she was already an old lady. And I just don't miss old ladies. It's my rule. It's a very important rule. I don't miss old ladies. You know that Nia and Shayna are going to retain. Oh, yeah, they're going to retain. But what happens between Sasha and Bayley? That's the intriguing thing. I don't care about where the titles go. I expect Nia and Shayna to retain. But what happens with Bayley and Sasha? That's the big one. Matthew says, why do people still talk about CM Punk? I am sick of hearing that guy's name. I can understand that. It has been pretty constant for 6 years. So, I think there's just always opportunity for him to come back. There's always retribution. There's always the hacker. There's always a vehicle that's going to need a big surprise. And so, naturally, that big surprise could always be CM Punk. So, I'm at the point where I'll believe it when I see it, yeah. Bob O Digital Nesbit, shout out to you, my friend. Bob O Digital, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate the support, man. Hope everyone is, I mean, look at this, 45 minutes gone of SmackDown already. So much for us to talk about and so much that they're doing with this show. It's so refreshing compared to Raw. It really is. And we're going to go back, and we should be going back to the women. I don't know if they're making their way out yet or not, or if we're going to have another little promo. Hello. we've got Adam Pearce. He's getting a lot of TV time, Adam Pearce, isn't he? Big E update. He's on his way to be medically evaluated. Big E not competing tonight. Yeah. Fatal 4-way. But they're trying to figure out who the... Here's Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman says, can I have a word with you, please? So Paul Heyman has dragged Adam Pearce away. Who is the fourth person? Look, we got a mystery as well. It's like Scooby-Doo. Right. Sasha making her way out. Sasha always getting interrupted by Bayley. Sasha Banks and Bayley taking on Nia Jax, a.k.a. Botchasaurus, and Shayna Baszler. Yeah, who's it going to be, man? Who's it going to be? I agree. I think AJ. AJ's got to be a favourite. Paul is going to screw the Fiend. Oh, no. What if it is the Fiend and then the Fiend wins and then it's just going to be the Fiend versus Roman, which is kind of the match we expected anyway. I've kind of got myself now ready to see something different. The Fiend probably deserves to be in that match. But I don't know. Will it be the Fiend? It could be. Could be Braun. Could be AJ. I don't think Xavier... I don't know that Xavier's ready to compete. I know they said that I wouldn't want Xavier anyway. Xavier being the number one contender for the Universal title. No, I don't want that. Days, AJ is not a face. He's not. But he does have Joseph Park. And that means that I want to see him as much as possible. So you've got to factor that in. You've got to factor in, when you're thinking about these things, factor in my feelings, right? And I really like Joseph Parks, so I really want to see as much of AJ as possible. Here comes Nia. Has The Fiend ever had a non-pay-per-view match? That's an interesting question. I don't think so. Not that I can remember. I don't remember him having a match on Raw or SmackDown. He's had house show matches, of course, and dark matches. We know that he's had some like cage matches and whatever at the end of last year after Raw and after SmackDown, but no, I don't believe so. Boo Nia. It could be Lars. Oh, that's interesting. He is due to come back. Yeah, that's interesting. Daniel Bryan would be awesome, says Sue. He would be awesome. I think he's doing more creative stuff now, unless he's now helping to create the show and he's now starting to put himself in matches and give him... Well, I'll tell you what, if I'm going to book the show, I'm going to make myself champion. So there we go. No, I don't think he will. I think he's doing behind-the-scenes stuff now. Please clear that AJ doesn't have COVID. He had COVID. That's true, yeah. We did discuss that earlier, Ducky. Yeah, he doesn't have it now. He's all cleared. This was, the reports was him having it like about a month ago. So, and obviously he's wrestled since then. So no, he's clear. What if the fourth member is the Uso that showed up earlier? Oh, I don't know that he would do that, would he? That's an interesting thought. But I don't know if they would. He was saying he's really pleased that Roman's won it and has achieved that. Would he then put himself in a match to try and face Roman? Don't know. It's a good thought, though. Right. Sasha, Bayley getting introductions. Lots of boos for Sasha and Bayley. We got Shayna and Nia getting their introductions. This is going to be good. It should be a good match, yeah. Amazingly, we're nearly halfway through. We've got about 10 minutes. We will get your halftime scores very soon. Not yet. Start thinking about them. Your halftime scores. Not yet. In about 10 minutes. Right, referee holding up those tag belts. What about Brock? I don't think so. I wouldn't rule it out, but I don't think so. I haven't heard any rumours about it being anyone huge. I haven't heard that it's going to be like Cena or anything like this. I'm expecting it to be an AJ or someone that they've already got. We are underway. We've got Bayley and Sasha sliding. They're getting caught, though. And they're going to get hurled into the barricades. Oh, they're holding... Oh, this is cool. Nia slamming Sasha into the barricade. They're doing it in stereo. You got Shayna slamming Bayley into the barricade as well. That was a good spot. I like that. RJ Madma says, I'm donating this just because you deserve it. RJ Madma, shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for the support. Really, really appreciate it. BBY PSI says, I miss Lillian Garcia.
RJ Madma is a legend. They donated $10 via super chat. Just because you deserve it, days.
Thank you very much, dude. Thank you, RJ Madma. Thank you to BBY PSI. And we are at commercial break. Believe that, says the Dark Ops. What, you think it could be a Bo Dallas? Adam Pierce is in charge of Retribution, says Ant-Man SP. Andres says, would you like to see Money in the Bank versus IC title? I don't mind. I think that would give it a bit more meaning. It's been a while since Otis won it, so him defending the Money in the Bank might be a nice idea. It would give a big match, but it'd have to be for a reason. It'd have to be for a red-hot feud, you know? Plus, does he want the IC title? Why would you want the IC title when you've got a briefcase that can get you a world universal title? So, I don't know. I'd kind of feel like it would make more sense if it was a feud. Like, when it was him against Dolph or something. Don't know. It's a nice idea. Hulk Hogan might be the leader of Retribution, says Intelligence. They could probably do with something like that. Hulk Hogan being used on TV on a regular basis, you know, to help ratings, might not be the worst. 52 minutes already, says Chalmers. I know, it's crazy. It's flying, isn't it? It's flying. I mean, this is what happens when you book a good show. Good promo. Tag match was all right. Interesting stuff going on with Big E. And now we know there's going to be a mystery person. Now we're at this women's tag match. So, yeah, man. It's going really well. AOP were pulled off TV earlier this year due to Razor's bicep injury, says Adam. Days, who do you think the contenders for the Riot Squad after they win the tag championships? Well, I mean, they can go anywhere, can't they? So they can defend against Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez down in NXT. They can defend over on Raw against, you'd think, Lana and Natalia. Probably going to be a team. So I think there's a few teams, not loads of teams, but there's a few teams. It's not really a priority, is it, if we're being honest, the tag titles, the women's tag title. But they can always throw some single stars together as well. And again, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but you've got the draft coming up. So they can always create some new teams out of the people they put together on the draft. Do you think Carmella will ever hold the women's title again? I don't know. What's happening with Carmella, to be honest? Haven't seen her in so long that it's hard to know what they're doing with her. So I think she will, as long as she comes back and she's, you know, part of the roster again. I don't know what plans they've got, or if she's out injured, or what's going on. I've seen videos of her working out, getting ready to return, so I know that Carmella's on her way back. So, yeah, hopefully not much longer. Right, this has settled down now to a proper tag match. We've got Bayley in there with Nia. Lovely knee strike by Shayna. And Nia is in control. Shoulder breaker by Nia. Goes for the pin. Shoulder up by Bayley. Sasha on the outside. As a Roman fan, I missed when everything was stacked against Roman, says MPHO. Halftime scores coming up, yes. ROFL, shout out to you. Imagine everyone booing Roman when he's a face and Vince wants the fans to cheer, and when Roman is heel, everyone loves him and cheers him. That's exactly what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. Days, are you doing the return NXT UK show? I haven't seen the lineup. I don't know what day it's on. So right now, I would have to say probably not. I would have to see what else is on, what time it is, and all that jazz. Some back elbows by Bailey. Days, you missed my super chat, says Alex. I'm sorry. Let me scroll back up. Alex says, Days, it will be Roman to replace. So he faces number one. What? He faces himself. He's going to go in the match, win the match, and then face himself. He's going to have an inner turmoil match. Roman versus Roman. Sometimes we are our own worst enemies. So, I don't know. I can't figure that out. Clearly, Paul Heyman wanted to have a word. So, I'm not sure what Paul Heyman was going to propose. So, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. It's very interesting. Shout out to you, Alex. Thank you, my friend. Hope you are well. Days, what's next for The Fiend? I still think Roman. I don't know what else there would be for him at the moment. Well, getting Alexa, basically. We still need some clarity there, don't we, with Alexa and Braun. Bailey is down, by the way, in the ring with Shayna. Shayna just really pulling back on the arm, doing some real damage, and Bailey is over by the ropes in pain. I do like the red attire that Bailey is wearing. Matches the red that Sasha is wearing. Tag, in comes Nia. Nia grabbing the leg of Bailey, slamming her leg down. It could be The Rock, says Tom Glenda Collis. That fat kid, 720, says, do you think Liv deserves a solo push? In my opinion, her character and theme are interesting. I think she needs some momentum. I think that she would have to... It's hard for me to say yes, because I don't know what her character is. Her character is very confused. Her character seems to be someone that still wants to find itself. You know, she kind of came back at the end of last year with the whole Lana wedding thing. That didn't lead anywhere. Then she came out and said that she's still trying to find herself. She seems to have a very confused character. It's not really well-rounded. It's not really very well established, unless her being confused is the character. I don't know. I think she's okay. She's not someone that's really on my radar, if I'm being honest. But she's got some lovely enziguris. Kick out by Nia. And I really do mean that. Her enziguris do look great when she hits them. And I'm not talking about boobs. But, yeah, she's got some good moves that she can do. She's got nice drop kicks. Drop kicks look quite good. Enziguris look quite good. But is she someone that's going to give you a 5-star match? Probably not. On the outside of the ring goes Sasha. Big forearm strike by Sasha. Kick to the midsection of Shayna. She pulls the middle rope down. Nia goes through the ropes. Nice knee strike by Sasha. Bailey tags herself in. Sasha looking for the power bomb. Oh, man, that would have been sick if she got it, and she does. Oh, Nia off the edge of the ring. Power bombed to the outside, but Shayna from behind gets caught. Belly to back suplex by Bailey. This match is getting good now. This match is getting good. I believe someone is going to steal Otis's briefcase and cash in. I don't think you can. Their name won't be on the contract, so it wouldn't work. Robin813 says it's going to be 2 weeks on Thursday. Okay. Darby or Fiend? Probably. Well, I really like Darby. I'd probably say Fiend. I really like I like Funhouse Bray, and I like the puppets more than I like the Fiend. I like the puppets. I think I'm just a big fan of Huskus. I think that's what I've learned. I'm a Huskus fan. Kicks the midsection by Sasha. I believe someone will steal the briefcase and cash in, says Ant-Man SP. Days, do you think that Roman has something to do with Retribution? I don't think so. I think they're already doing enough with Roman. I don't think they need to give him Retribution. I think that can be used for some other superstars or someone else to be the leader. I don't think Roman needs it. Right, Nia is obviously down. She's crawling on the outside. I just saw Nia's head crawling along the outside. Where is she going? She's going over to the commentators. I'm sure I just saw Nia's head crawling round there. 1, 2. Shoulder up by... There's Nia. Look, down by the steps. What is she doing? She's hiding by the steps. Bayley climbing up. Dropping the elbow by Bayley. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Well, she's not helping Shayna. I don't know why Nia has just crawled round to the steps, but she's not helping Shayna. Surely Sasha and Bayley can see her. I'm sitting at home and I can see her. Right, tag. They're now over. Look there. She's crawling the other way. What is this woman doing? What is Nia doing? She's just crawling around. She's like a computer virus. Knee strike in the corner by Sasha. Are we going to commercial break? So, Sasha colliding into the ring post. What is Nia doing? I don't know. I can't even see where she is now. Now she's like properly hiding down. I think she's turned into a squirrel or something. I don't know. She's hibernating. Do squirrels hibernate? I just don't know anymore. Up top, gets caught by Shayna. What I do know is Nia has done nothing to help Shayna. I know that much. She's still down. She's just slumped in the middle now. Look, Shayna going over, going, where are you? Nia's just taking her time. I don't know what she's doing. Well, Shayna's over in the corner. There's no one to tag. Nice work by Shayna, taking out the knee of Sasha, dragging Sasha into the middle. This is all Shayna. Looking, trying to roll her up. 1, 2. Kick out by Shayna. Forearm strike, down goes Bayley. In fairness, this is probably the best way to use Nia, isn't it? It's the safest thing to do. Right, Nia, we want you to sit by the barricade. That's all you need to do. If you want to crawl around a little bit, that's absolutely fine. But just largely sit over by the barricade. I think she's crawled back over to the steps. I think she's gone to the steps. What are you doing, woman? What are you doing? What is she's a crawly crawlster? That's all she's doing. She's gone to the steps. She's just crawling outside the ring. What is this woman doing? She's like Pac-Man. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Shayna. Shayna having to wrestle this freaking match on her own. She's got crossface. Now Nia decides to get involved. Getting in the ring. Kick to Sasha. Goes over to a corner. Well, she's got to be fresh as a daisy. Well, she's probably knackered after all the crawling she's done. What was the whole point in that? What was the point? I don't understand. Muffler. She's got a stretch muffler on Sasha though, trying to roll up Nia. She has one. Just a one, just an evil Uno. I thought she was going to get her then. Samoan drop. She's got her on her shoulders. Where's she taking her? Taking her up. Middle rope. Climbing. I feel like it's been a while since we had a commercial break. It's been wonderful. This match has been wonderful, actually. Bayley saves Sasha. They're in trouble. But no, they slam Baszler down. Nia might be in trouble. Nia. No! Big crossbody by Nia! 2, 3. Nia with a crossbody off the middle rope. Flattens Bayley and Sasha. And there we go. Nia and Shayna retain. After a big Nia Jax crossbody. Mamma mia, says Robin. Is Nia drunk? I don't know. I don't know what she was doing, but it was wonderful. They've retained. It's over. And what happens now? What happens now? What happens when these two come round? When they manage to scrape themselves up off the mat after being squished? Is someone going to turn? She's killed them, says William Hensey. Gabriella says that was sick. Time for the turn, says Mustafa. All that crawling, and she was such a creepy creepster. Honestly, such a creepy creepster. Gabriella says that was amazing. Bayley's ribs are probably injured. Well, her ego will be. I know that much. Here we go. Here we go. Sasha's down. They've actually brought in some medics. They're concerned here. Bayley's gone over to the corner. Bayley's slumped in the corner. This is interesting. Look, they're checking on Sasha's knee. This is interesting. They're doing something here. We go to commercial break. No, we've gone to commercial break. We've gone to commercial break. Right, get your thoughts in. Wrestle with Andy, shout out to you, says, do you think we'll see Fiend or Alexa tonight? Don't know, man. We're running out of time, aren't we? We're running out of time. Bayley laughing. Oh, I didn't see Bayley laughing. Get your thoughts in. Get your thoughts in. What did you think? What are your scores? Halftime scores? Days, I am deaf, and sometimes with the subtitles off, it looks like you're having a fit. 9 out of 10. 8. Someone asking for WDW. I don't know. Days, you read my super chat as no one, not number one. I can't remember what it said. Alex, what did it? Tell me what it said. I've watched wrestling since then, and my brain has gone dead. 6.5, 7.5. I've had to cope with trying to figure out what Nia was doing, and now my brain's gone dead. 7.5, 6, 8, 4. Jordan says, I think they'll use Xavier. 4 from Kevin. 9 from Mus Irving. 6, 8, 7 from Sunny. 7.75. 7.5 from Roro. Mr. Rotella, hope you are well, my friend. Hope you are well. Hope you're having a lovely week/weekend. Friday night. Do you think Retribution could be the people that got fired? Maybe, but not all of them, because some of them have gone to Impact and gone to AEW. But it could be Rusev and Rowan. The Happy Pug Queen says 7. Isman gives it a 10. Wow. 1987, big fan. Gives it a 5. David Cole, 8.5. Heather, are they actually losing the belts already? Well, they didn't win them back. 6, says Chris. 6.5 from Chalmers. I said Roman will replace Big E, and so he faces no one. Right. Got you. So you're saying that Roman wins the match and as a result he won't face anyone. I don't think they'll do that. Because you've got to have a match, haven't you? They need to find who the number one contender is. So it's a good idea, but I don't think it will happen. Maybe Paul will propose it. Maybe the Fiend will get involved. And maybe the Fiend will cost Roman from winning or something. It's interesting. It's interesting. Okay, we're back and Sasha is still in the ring. Guys, you're allowed to start freaking out because we've come back to it and they're still in the ring. What is going to happen? What is going to happen? Bayley is in the corner. She looks concerned. Sasha saying don't touch it. We've still got EMT. She's pushing the medics away. Look, she's pushing people away. Now Bayley's coming over. Bayley's saying, look, she's my friend. I've got this. So Bayley going over. Look, Sasha grabbing Bayley, actually. And Bayley is helping Sasha. The medics have actually gone. Look, she's trying to help her over to the ropes. Sasha really seems to be struggling here. Bayley helping her over to the ropes. This is so gripping. This is so gripping. She feel like something's going to happen. Ah, there it is! There it is! Bayley! Bayley attacks Sasha! Bayley attacks Sasha! Bayley attacks Sasha! Out the ring goes Sasha! Into the ring steps! It's Bayley that turns! Bayley attacks Sasha! Yes! Yes! That's exactly what they needed to do. Heel Bayley is life. Heel Bayley has been awesome. It didn't make any sense to put Bayley back as a face, keeping her heel, attacking Sasha, slamming that knee into the ring steps, stomping away on the leg as well. Bayley turns on Sasha. You can see everyone in the crowd, hands on their heads. And look at this, Sasha like proper covering up. Sasha's like trying to protect herself. Ah, into the barricade. Into the barricade goes Sasha Banks, and look at the reactions. This is why you have a Thunderdome, because everyone has got their hands on their faces, hands on their heads. There's people booing. You're actually getting some proper reaction in the Thunderdome right now. And right into the corner. Right into the corner. We've got absolute scenes as Bayley is unloading on Sasha Banks. And Sasha's trying to fight back a little, but she's just collapsing in pain, man. This is so good. They've teased it for so long that this is sweet. This is sweet. Is it boss time now? She is smashing Sasha's face into the ring. She is not holding back. Is it boss time, Michael? Is it boss time, Michael? No, it's Bayley time. It is definitely Bayley time. You deserve all of this. Sasha seemed to be crying a little bit there. As Bayley says, you deserve all of this. Bayley deserves all of this. She's been wonderful. Goes back on the knee. Make it stop. Make it. She's got a family, damn it. She's grabbing a chair. Michael Cole's like, why? Doesn't matter why. It's very entertaining, Michael. I'm having a wonderful time as Bayley grabs the chair, goes into the ring. Sasha is rolling around on the mat. Bayley with the chair. She's going to put it... Oh, she's putting it on the knee. She's putting it on the knee. She's going to stomp down, but Sasha's trying to fight back. She does manage to get some kicks off. She's managing to get up, but a knee strike to the side of the head, and Sasha Banks is out now. Is she going to go back for the chair at all? Banks is down. Seems to be out. No, man. It's still going. It's still going. This is a proper brutal attack. Kicking her in the side of the head. What's she going to look to do now? Face first into the ring. We've got a... Why is there not people coming down and stopping it? I don't understand. We've got one ref on the outside saying, come on, yeah? Come on, please, stop, yeah? She's putting... Oh, my God! She's put the chair over Sasha's head. She's put the chair on Sasha's head. She's putting it over her neck. Bayley's going up. Bayley onto the middle rope. Ah! Man, that was cool. That was brutal, but it was really cool. She is demented, man. She is absolutely gone. Sasha Banks completely motionless, completely out. Chair over the neck. Bayley slumped in the corner with a sick smile on her face as she rolls out the ring. That was awesome. And you can just hear boos and see Sasha shaking. Wow. 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 Leanne Mink says, wish Asuka would have won both Raw and SmackDown titles. Oh, that was fire. That was straight fire. Anyone saying that wasn't straight fire? Lying. Spawn Burton says, shout out to you, Spawn. On her neck, man. On her freaking neck. Paul Carpenter says, I've been waiting for months. And now I've missed it. Oh, dude, you got up at the wrong time. So good. Let me know. Score it. Get your scores in for that segment. What did you think? Sasha's dead. Bayley is freaking awesome. That's jumped up to an 8. So good. So good. 10 out of 10, 20 out of 20. RIP the women's tag division. That was brutal, says Monica King. That was awesome. I love that. That was straight lava. Straight lava. It was straight lava. It was done perfect. It was done perfect. I mean, I think you knew to get excited when you came back from the break and they were still in the ring. And I love the fact it's Bayley that's turned on Sasha. There's been a lot of talk about who's going to turn on who. And I've always firmly said Bayley has to turn. She's only recently turned heel. She's been brilliant as a heel. Why would you want to switch it, man? Why would you want to change it? I mean, it was so freaking good. It was so freaking good. And it was more brutal than what I was expecting. You're expecting, do you know what I mean? Like an attack from behind. You're expecting something like that. This was sustained. It was outside the ring with barricades. There was chairs in, but that chair on the neck. I mean, I was like, when it was on the knee. And then, Sasha managed to fight back. She got overpowered. And then she ends up going on her neck. She should have just took it on the knee. Do you know what I mean? That's definitely going to be one of her life regrets. Jerry Lopez says Bayley versus Sasha at Clash of Champions. This'll run for a while. They're going to do these matches till you get sick of them. But you're going to struggle to get sick of them because the last time they the big main time they faced each other at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn in 2015 is regarded as one of the best women's matches of all time, one of the best NXT matches of all time. So they're going to have to build on that. They're going to have to deliver that again, and they know it. I should imagine they've spent the past few months just talking about how they can beat that match. And they're going to have to try. And I can't wait to see what they do. I can't wait. Incredible. So if you are just joining us, Bayley attacks Sasha Banks on SmackDown, and it was huge. It was done as perfectly as you would hope it to be done. I love Bayley. She has just made SmackDown better. What have I missed other than Sasha getting attacked? Big E got attacked. So Big E was attacked. Will Sasha ever make it to Clash of Champs? Hey, she'll be out for a little while, won't she? I think it's fair to assume that she's not coming back anytime soon after that. That was a brutal beatdown. I don't know that I would expect her next week. You'll probably get a promo from Bayley next week. This is what we were saying, though. We said get excited for tonight. Get excited for tonight because we're still a little way away from Clash. It means they can really do something on tonight's show. It's not as if this is a go-home or anything. Oh, look, we're backstage. We're backstage. Sasha being loaded into an ambulance. I hope WWE own their own ambulance. They've had to use one quite often recently. Sasha being loaded in. Do you think Bayley's going to attack again? Maybe Bayley's going to be the driver. Where to, Sasha? Here we go, loaded in. The door's being closed. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely freaking brilliant. So, we're seeing that Sasha's being whisked off to hospital. Absolute brutal beatdown. So, Michael Cole says, we hope to have an update very soon. Get some sort of word from Bayley. I don't know if we'll get that on this show or if they'll save it for next week, but we are moving on. We've got Sami Zayn making his way down. I tell you what, how hard is it going to be to follow that segment? How hard is it going to be to follow that? Where to, Sasha? Sasha's a face now. Yes, the build was awesome. SmackDown really knows how to get those ratings up, says Charles. I agree. I totally agree. I think they've done an excellent, excellent job. Excellent job. So, Sami Zayn making his way down. I don't know that he's competing or if he's just cutting a promo or what he's doing. It's promo. Promo for Sami. He says, Greg, what intro was that? Why don't you refer to me as Intercontinental Champion? Why haven't you addressed me that way? Right, I'm trying to get into the chat. Urban Goth, shout out to you, my friend. Says, come to an IWE show in Essex next year. Hashtag support indie. I should go to more indie shows, actually. Sam Piboon says, will Sasha be back for Hell in a Cell? Oh, I would think almost certainly, yes. I just don't know about next week. I think they need to sell this for a little while. Coaster says, I'm in the Thunderdome. Are you? Right, here's Jeff Hardy. Have fun, dude. Okay, so we've got Jeff Hardy and we've got Sami Zayn. This is both with their IC championships. We're running out of time. We've only got 35 minutes left. Jeff says, if you wanted a shot at my IC title, all you had to do was ask. Sasha's now Sasha No Friends. Sasha Bailey Clash of Champs. Yeah, I think so, Liam. I think so. Days, what if they have Sasha out of action for the rest of the year? I think it'll be a while. I'm not expecting them to be back next week or anything. I'm really not. AJ Styles is coming out. Nobody. AJ says, how come you two are parading around with these belts? How come Joseph Park isn't out there? That's what I want to know. That's all I care about. Sami Zayn says, what's going on? Has everyone gone crazy? Okay, we've this. I feel like we're building towards a triple threat on this. AJ laying out Sami Zayn. Twist of Fate. And he's looking for a Twist of Fate on Sami, but he couldn't get it. And instead it's a haluva kick. Down goes Hardy. Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins have Middle Eastern ancestry. Coaster says they keep telling us how to react. Yes, that has been reported, actually, that they are telling people in the Thunderdome how to react. I don't mind it. I think the Thunderdome really added to that turn. Really added to that turn. Gorilla Press says AJ wants to be undisputed Intercontinental Champion. Chalmers saying triple threat. Does seem like we're building that way. It is going to be Uso. Is it Jimmy J? So whoever predicted that in the chat, well done. You called it. I didn't think they would go that way. I really didn't think they would go that way. But it is going to be an Uso. Are we at the main event now? Matt Riddle's entrance. Man, what a show! That last segment didn't outstay its welcome at all. It is going to be Jey Uso. So, as we said, well done to whoever predicted that. Jey Uso is the Big E replacement. The original bro. Okay, so Matt Riddle making his way down. Does that mean this match is going to get half an hour? Is our main event going to go half an hour? Or is this not the main event? I'm so confused. Bum, 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 ba-da, ba-dum. Right, let's change over this graphic. Roman versus Jey at Clash of Champions. Actually could be very interesting. Jey Uso versus Sheamus. It seems like Paul Heyman must have requested this, though. I'm trying to... Matt Riddle. And who's the other person? It's not Big E. It is King Corbin. There we go. Right, we've done that. Bayley deserves so much credit for reinventing herself. I agree. I think her heel turn has been one of the big success stories of the past couple of years. I think it's been awesome. She's done a brilliant job. Absolutely brilliant. And that moment, that is one of the moments of the... that beatdown was incredible. I love Roman Reigns. Let's go, Jey. Days, don't forget all the commercials. Yeah, we are at commercial right now. Jey Uso is an interesting addition. I agree with that. I would like to see Sheamus versus Roman. Corbin sucks. Did anything exciting happen in the first half? Well, we got Big E getting attacked. Big E got attacked and he was out of the match. Days, what if we have Sasha out of action for the rest of the year and then have her return to fight Bayley at WrestleMania? I honestly think they should sell that for a while. I don't know if it needs to be rest of the year. I definitely wouldn't have her around for a few weeks. I think you've got to say it's likely that they're going to do Bayley versus Sasha at Clash of Champions. Although saying that, there's big talk, that they're going to actually do a push for Naomi. So big talk that Naomi is on the verge of a push. So could it be that they do Naomi against Bayley while Sasha tries to recover, and then they actually move on to the Bayley versus Sasha feud? So she could be out for a while. She could. There's other stories that they could definitely tell if they wanted to. Clash of Champions, Sasha versus Bayley, Roman versus Fiend, and Drew versus Randy, says Wrestling Days fam. Yeah, could be. Could be Sasha, could be Naomi. I don't know which way they're going to go. We won't see Sasha for 15 years, says Aiden's Toys. Jerry Lopez says Matt Riddle is going to win this Fatal 4-Way. Gorilla Press says heel Bayley is life. Well, let me know. Who do you think's winning this? Who do you think is winning this? Team Bad are going to reunite? That's really interesting. I didn't even think about Team Bad. Team Bad was Tamina, Naomi, and Sasha Banks, wasn't it? I wonder if there could be something like that. Man, it's a real moment of the year. It's a real big moment what we've just seen. It's the kind of moment that when you tune into SmackDown, you really hope you're gonna see. You want to see that big talking point, and they've done so well of building this for so long, you know? So well for building it for so long. It's been one of those, it's like, is it gonna happen tonight? Is it gonna happen tonight? And finally, when it happens, it feels huge. They did a great job. They really did a great job. Right, so Alexa is going to be on Talking Smack. We haven't seen Alexa tonight. Uso is going to win. Jey Uso will win, and Roman will destroy him immediately. BBYPSI. Days, name your 3 to 5 heels. I can't because there's something happening. Who's this? What's this? What's this? Who's this? Is this Lana? We just saw someone walking with like fur coats, or it seemed like some kind of fur thing. It felt like a Lana or a Lacey Evans or someone like that, but it feels like a tease of a repackage or someone new. Not thinking Tessa. Definitely not getting Tessa vibes. Eva Marie. No, that's Eva Marie. Do you think so? No. Don't say that. Who dat? Why is everyone saying Eva? Stop saying these words. What is inside? Stapler. Some straws. A sandwich. It's lunchbox. Okay, so Morrison stole the Money in the Bank briefcase, but the contract wasn't in there. It was actually in the little lunchbox instead. Hey, we're backstage with Roman. Here we go. Jey Uso says, I hear I've got to thank you for putting me in this match. You don't owe me. Paul made that happen. Roman laughs. We'll see. Whoa, that's moody, man. Roman says, I know your brother would win, but let's see if you can get one on your own this time. And Jey Uso's like, all right then. Fine, I will. King Corbin making his way down. Paul Carpenter says Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green's an option, yeah. Chelsea Green's an option. No, let's stop saying either, because first of all, you're going to make me throw up. And second of all, I don't like it and you'll make me throw up. So let's say Chelsea Green. Because there's a really good chance that I'll vomit. It's Alicia Fox. I don't think it was Alicia Fox. Hey, that was moody from Roman. Roman was like, your brother would do it. You know, I don't know if you're going to do it. Matt Riddle goes after Corbin. Is beating up on Corbin. Roman has got a favourite cousin. Roman's now splitting his own family. Well, look, we're underway. We haven't even got Jey Uso. We haven't got Sheamus. Here's Sheamus. Here's Jey Uso. They've come running down. No entrances for them. They don't deserve them. No entrances for them. They come running down. And we are underway. How long we got? 23 minutes. Is this really going to be the main event? Well, I suppose there is commercials, isn't there, as we said, so... how would you book the Otis cash-in? I wouldn't do it until WrestleMania, maybe even the night after WrestleMania. I would also, have Mandy leave him for someone. I would have him defend the contract against that person. Manage to win, you know. He's kind of have him as heartbroken. Build up some sympathy for it. People loved Otis when he was trying to get Mandy. Now he's got Mandy. It's kind of like he's achieved it all. Do you know what I mean? I don't think people are still crazy about him. You need to get some sympathy back on him. So have Mandy cheat, and put her with whoever she cheats on him with. Build up some sympathy. Have him defend Money in the Bank contract against that person. Have him win. Build him up. Maybe give him a good showing in the Rumble, maybe. I don't know why he'd even be in the Rumble, though. He's already got a contract. Anyway, I wouldn't have him cash in until WrestleMania time. Gorilla Press thinks Trish. Do you think Trish? I wasn't getting Trish vibes. It's Glenda, says Dave in real life. It is Glenda. Eva's more muscular now, says David Hall. I'm pleased for her. But that doesn't mean she gets to come back to WWE. I like the Chelsea Green shout. I don't think Tessa. I really wasn't getting Tessa vibes unless they're really changing a character. Days, I honestly think it's Eva. Well, I honestly think that you should change your mind. Roy Rees says, I missed your chat. Fire it in, Roy. What did you say? Just let me know what you said and I'll read it. The chat has got my focus. The legs were dark in colour, so it's someone with a tan. Carmella, could be Carmella. Charlotte, I think she's out injured. Eva, no, Ryan, have a word with yourself. Days, what about Emma? She's gone to Impact. I think Roman is going to attack Jey during the match. Days, I read an article and it said that Demi is training to be in ring. I hope not. Gorilla Press says Ember. Wow, that would be a repackage if it is. Scarlett, I'm not feeling it. Carmella maybe. I could go with Carmella. I was late. What happened between Bayley and Sasha? Oh, drama. That's what happened. It was awesome. Brilliant beatdown. Lovely. AJ Lee. Oh, I'd love it, but I wasn't getting AJ Lee vibes at all. Chelsea Green. I think Chelsea Green or Carmella are really good shouts. Do you watch the Premier League? It's not back yet. It's back next weekend. One has to be Ronda. That didn't look like Ronda. I didn't get Ronda vibes. Alex, you have to contact YouTube. I don't have the function to do that. Roy says AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy versus Sami Zayn, Intercontinental belts above the ring, and make it TLC. That'll be awesome. Tell you what else is awesome. Firefly Funhouse. Got a little Firefly. Full set. Abby at the window. He lost his favourite toy. Is the fire picture upside down? Someone's coming to the Funhouse next week. Someone's coming to the Funhouse next week. Gorilla Press says Funhouse. Never ever end. Well, there we go. Funhouse next week and someone's coming. Is it going to be Alexa? There's Alexa. And Rambling Rabbit in the background. Rambling Rabbit in the background. No way. Ah! Alexa is apologizing to Nikki. Gives her a big hug. But Rambling Rabbit in the background. Oh, a new friend, says Gorilla Press. It's got to be Alexa. Alexa or Cena next week. Alexa or Cena. Rambling Rabbit. Yeah, man, in the background. So, it's going to, I would say Cena or Alexa next week. She's got two dreads on both sides. Yeah, wow, she's changing, isn't she? She's changing. She's at that age now where she's going through the change. I feel like Roman is coming for Jay. At Clash Champions, he would beat the beep out of Jay. Jet Zeus Rock and Roll says, this is my first time watching the streams and I love it. Hey, shout out to you, dude. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to let us know your thoughts on what's gone down because, man, it's been fire. It's been a really great show. You know, I was pretty high on this show after that promo at the start, but man, to have Rambling Rabbit backstage with Alexa, who's, as Chalmers just pointed out, changing, clearly. You know, got more braids now. And we know there's going to be someone in the Funhouse next week, a new friend. A new friend. That's what he said. That's what he said. Bo Dallas is coming. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. In the background, man. Really cool. Who was the mystery woman? What mystery woman? Oh, we don't know. We don't know. There's a few theories, but we don't actually know who it is. Pixie Bliss is coming, says Rhea Ripley's boyfriend. Where is Braun? Where is Braun? Maybe Braun's the new friend. Maybe it's CM Punk, guys. CM Punk. Rambling Rabbit in the background. Yay! Theory time, says Future Compilations. I don't know if there's much to theorize about. I think we all can see that Alexa is a part of it. I mean, she's clearly changing, and now Rambling is hanging around with her. So, I think chances are it's Alexa next week that's going to be in the Funhouse. If it's not Alexa, it could be Braun. I like the idea of Bo Dallas. I like the idea of John Cena. There's a few. It could be Postman Pierce again, says Butterspark. Watch the friend will be Boar related because of the mask. CM Punk, says Zach. Maybe Daniel Bryan. Yeah, maybe Linda. Maybe it's going to be Linda McMahon. They are called dreadlocks or locks, says Gorilla Press. Big strike by Jey Uso. Kick to the midsection by Sheamus. Dave says, yes, we're now back on Puppet Watch. Puppet Watch. E-Man, shout out to you. Hope you're well, buddy. Don't feel like I've seen E-Man in a little while. Aiden says, Alexa dressed as Abby. Days, Alexa is dressed as Abby. Yes, we saw that last time where she was starting to wear like the black skirt and everything. Nikki in the funhouse. Swerve, says Butterspark. Ooh. Black Mass Fig says maybe it'll be the person that threw the pie at Kevin Owens. Probably a boar puppet. Ah, well, that's true. He said a new friend, so maybe a new puppet. I like that, Chalmers. Hey, I like that. Sheamus with a clothesline. Bringing Alexa to the Funhouse might be too early, says Vincius. That's a good point, in all fairness. She does seem to be going through this slow change. The new person in the Funhouse will be Eva Marie, says Austin316. Who are you going to call? Puppet Busters, says Baby Yoda. Yeah, they do need pest control. They've got an outbreak of puppets now backstage. So they need to put down some traps. Try and catch some of these puppets. It was John Cena that threw the pie, says E-Man. Aiden says Alexa is dressed as Abby. Eric, Defcon Prime Dorigi, says Days, I'm back and I am better than ever. Head-on car crash on Sunday. I miss Payback and calling it now. Cross goes to the Funhouse. Wow, interesting. I hope you're all right, Eric. Sorry to hear that news about a car crash to the point where you miss Payback. I mean, you didn't miss a great deal. Not that that makes any difference, but oh man. Yeah, I hope everything's okay. Days Alexa. Everyone's very excited about Alexa being dressed as Abby. She was dressed as Abby before. The white sheep, Eric Rowan, says Joe Rock. That's a good point. Days is the new friend. I can officially rule that out. Mainly because I can't be bothered. Fun fact about the Thunderdome, they show you in the commercial action. Okay, that's cool. The Mystery Woman is probably a Impact Pro wrestler. I don't know. It seems like it's a call-up. It seems like it's the tease of someone either coming back or someone new to the roster. So, I don't know. I think they definitely know who that person is. It's Rowan. What? The legs. The lady in the heels. You think it's Rowan? Wow. I didn't think about that. And in all fairness, I don't know what Rowan looks like in heels, so it's very hard for me to say if it is Rowan or not. But I love that prediction. I really hope it does turn out to be true. Could the woman be Carmella's? No, Sue, we officially, I'm going to give that theory my backing. We officially think it's Rowan. And I'm sticking with that. Maybe it's an Alexa Bliss puppet, says Dino King Striker. Days, you saw the coat. It's a Pete Dunne repackage, says BOD. That's true. He did have a furry collar. Always wear safety belts, says Eric. I'm good. Just thought I was getting ribbed when Roman was crowned champ again. Then I realised I wasn't unconscious anymore. Wow, what? You was unconscious? Dude. Thoughts are with you, man. That's rough. Summer Rae. Oh, Summer Rae's interesting. Her calves are chubby. I think it's Caitlyn, says Birrett. Maybe it is Rowan. We are underway. We've got 10 minutes of this awesome show left. Awesome show. The lady in heels is Sonya Deville. Not sure. She's not really a heels person, is she? What if the person in the heels was William Hensey? I think there's a good chance of that. Sasha Banks wears that. No way. She's gone to hospital, dude. She's gone to hospital. That woman was Lita, says Jennifer. Gail Kim, says Tom. Are we just throwing out random women now? I don't think it's those. What if it's a new Bray incarnation? Ballroom Bray? I would love Ballroom Bray. Hey, look, Jey Uso on the shoulders of Sheamus. Big kick by Riddle. Sheamus going over to the corner. A Lesnar return. What, you think it was Lesnar? Ah, yes! Lesnar in the heels. That would be how to bring him back. Lovely work. Eric says, I was out for 3 days. Paige could be the mystery lady. Oh, man, shout out to you. That's awful. I had no idea, obviously. I'm just really pleased that you're okay. Days, the new friend will be the doll. It's going to be Lana. Matt Riddle's going to win this. Matt Riddle doing really well at the moment. We've only got, I can't believe it, we've got 9 minutes left of this show. We've got 9 minutes left. It's Joseph Park in the heels. Dana. Tessa. I don't think Tessa. I'm not getting Tessa vibes. Sexy G. Oh, what, you think it's a Shorty G repackage? Sexy G. Oh, I hope so. I hope so. The camera pans back and he's just there. Sexy G. Sexy G. Sexy G. Cloverleaf by Sheamus on Matt Riddle. So we are underway with this. It is a #1 contenders. It's the Great Khali. Cain Velasquez. Best chat room ever. Shout out to you, Eric. Kelly, Chelsea Green. Lana. What happened as Bray showed up? Haunted Radio. Bailey has turned on Sasha. And there will be a new friend that joins the Funhouse next week. Sexy G. CM Pumps. Jey Uso with a kick to the midsection. Big strike. Back goes Corbin. $100. It's Chelsea Green. Yeah, I think Chelsea Green's got a great shout. I think she's got to be a favourite. Jey Uso duck underneath. Nice super kick. Corbin out the ring. Someone else has put a little sign up. I couldn't see what it said because they've gone with a close-up on Jey. And they've got rid of whatever was on that screen. So someone seemed to hold up a sign. I didn't see what it said, though. Another super kick. It's a Dominic repackage, says 1987 big fan. Jey Uso comes crashing down on Sheamus and Matt Riddle. Sexy days. Days, the ways things are going, I'd take 2 episodes of SmackDown rather than Raw. I agree, man. It's been brilliant. Candice LeRae. Does she wear heels? I don't really see her as a heels kind of a girl. Here's King Corbin grabbing Jey Uso. Jey Uso with some back elbows. I do have to say, I thought the Thunderdome was excellent during that split earlier. Thought it made a massive difference. Chalmers says, what if Retribution invade? I think that... Oh, he throws him over the screens. I thought he was going to throw him into the screens. But he chucks him over. Matt Riddle down. Sheamus down. Riddle into the barricade. Riddle into the ring. It could be you, Days. It's Svetlana. Oh, man. Tommy will be over the moon. Here we go. Look, King Corbin. Can you imagine if King Corbin wins this? Riddle. Oh, big brogue. Big brogue, Riddle. Going for the bro to sleep. Boom. Sheamus is down. He's looking for Bro Derek. A floating bro. No, Jey Uso. Big splash. 2, 3. Jey Uso wins. Jey Uso wins. Jey Uso is going to take on Roman Reigns at Clash of Champions. What? Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns. Did Roman say, right, listen, I'm going to come back on these two conditions. One, I'm a heel. Two, I want to defend the title against Jey Uso. Oh, and three, I've got to be champ. Jey Uso versus Roman. Interesting. Didn't expect that. Hey, who expected that at the start of tonight? Do you remember when we were doing the preview of the show and we were like, right, tonight we've got Big E versus Sheamus versus King Corbin versus Matt Riddle? I think it'll be Matt Riddle or Big E. And turns out it was Jey Uso. So that is wrestling for you though, isn't it? Congratulations. Here's Kayla. Kayla saying congratulations. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, that should be a great match, though. Big Dog. I made the family proud, too. There's still a few minutes left. There is, you're right. Welcome. You know the rest. Jey Uso victorious. Jey is better than Roman. Matt Riddle should not have been pinned. Roman's going to destroy him. Welcome to the Usos Penitentiary. Jadam says it's Kayla again. Well, we got the little thing in the corner. We might be done here. This is for you, Jimmy. He did it for little Jimmy, our truce friend. And that's it. End of the show. End of the show. And what a show. What a SmackDown we were treated to. That was brilliant. I loved it. It started off with a great promo. Incredible split between Sasha and Bayley. Big news about a new friend on the Funhouse next week. And then Jey Uso is a surprise opponent for Roman. And I'm totally down for that. I'm totally down for that. 9 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Moda says, I want a Paul Heyman puppet to go with the Vince puppet. And then we get a match between the two at pay-per-view. Shortly in the future, says Moda. Ended 1 minute earlier than usual. RJ Madma, shout out to you. Here we go. Look, 775-989-875-8. 9, 10. I love it. 9, 10. 875, 8, 10, 8. Look at these scores. These scores are fire. Donald Jackson, shout out to you. 9, 9, 10, 10. People are loving it. If Braun joins the Funhouse, do you think he'll wear that new mask? I think so. 8.5, 875, 10 out of 10, nothing was bad. 7 out of 10, Matt Riddle should not have been pinned. I'm not that bothered, to be honest. It was a multi-person match. The bigger talking point is Jey Uso winning. I didn't even notice that Matt had got pinned, so it doesn't bother me. Sandman 882, 9.75, 10, 9.2, 8, 10, 10, 9, 825, 8, 9, 8.9, 8.5. Look at these scores, man. This is one of the best, highest rated shows I can remember from the chat. Normally you see a lot of 7s. I'm not seeing any 7s. I've seen a couple of 6s. But, no, very good. Very, very good. Days the Lady and the Heels was Matt Riddle's sister. What an opportunity for Jey. 875 says Chrissy Ann. 9.7. The last time Bray said there was a new friend coming to the fun house, it was a puppet, says Lewis. Good point. Wrestling Escape Pod coming up. Gorilla Press says 9.3. Jim says 7. I'll go 7. Intias goes 7 as well. Jim going 7. He said a bit of a predictable ending. I suppose because once Jey had been put in and they had that backstage chat, it kind of felt like it was going to go that way, but I'm Still totally down with it. So cool. Heather says 8.5 days. 8.9 says Brian. 9.5 says Jay. Tony says 4 out of 10 wasn't for me. I really respect that. I like Tony. Let me know why if you get a chance. Just what about it? I'm just interested. 8.5, 9, 8, 20 out of 50. Donald Jackson, shout out to you. Paul Carpenter thinks it's going to be Chelsea Green. Maybe Alexa is going to go to the funhouse. I think you've got to start thinking that way, yes. 10. See you later, Travante. Way better than Raw. Oh, easily. Easily. Sorry, Days, for being late. No worries, dude. Is there UFC tomorrow? I don't. It might be on in the background, but I'm not really going to be advertising it. Days, the person in the heels could be Dio Madden. Eric, shout out to you. I wish SmackDown was 3 hours. I don't know. I think what they've just get. I think it's great that you want more. I think it's great they don't give you more, because giving you 3 hours might only, you know what I mean, run the risk of them giving you filler. I think what they've got 2 hours and they use it really well. And I think they should take Raw down to 2. I think we've all said that for a long time. They won't, but I think it shows, doesn't it? Tony says there's too many talking points. That's fair, I suppose. There has been a lot for us to talk about, but I don't know, man. It's so good. So good. Do you stream the boxing? We do the bigger boxing events, yeah. I mean, it all depends what's on. There's such a clash of events at the moment. I'm going to go with an 8.5. I wasn't really into Heavy Machinery taking on Miz and Morrison. I could have done without that. Outside of that, I'll take the rest of it. I think Bailey Sasha was awesome. I think promo at the start was awesome. Loved the fact that going into the show, didn't know who was going to win that number one contenders, and it turns out to be Jey Uso. I think there's a real story they can tell there about family. And I think Roman destroying Jey Uso is going to really help establish and cement him as an evil heel. Not a badass that's, you know, just going to do what it takes to win. I think he could go out of his way to destroy Jey Uso and really get that heat. So, yeah, I really like it. And then as well, you got the news about next week. We got a new friend coming to the funhouse. We had Alexa backstage with Rambling Rabbit in the background. So it was a really great show. It was a really, really great show. When was the girl in heels? She was only on briefly, kind of. I think when we came back from a commercial break, you just saw her in heels and you was waiting for it to pan up and it never did. So I think they're just going to keep teasing that for a few weeks. Wrestling Days fan says The Rock is coming. Wow, I hope that's ultimately what we're building towards. I hope that this is the start of getting a heel Roman that's going to destroy his family, and it's going to force The Rock to... The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania for the title. Man. 8.5, one of the best shows ever. It's right up there. It was a brilliant show. I could be convinced to even go like 8.75. It's only really a couple of moments in the show I was just a bit, nah. Just a bit like, meh. Mainly the Heavy Machinery, Miz Morrison thing, but yeah, it's really good, man. The Mystery Woman could be an unknown wrestler, says William. Could be. You could be right. It could be someone from Evolve. Corey giving it a 3. That's low. What if Marty Scurll's the leader of Retribution? No, he's under contract with Ring of Honor. And I think there was a bit of heat on him as well. So I don't think they would go that way. The lady with the heels was probably Carmella. Yeah, SmackDown hacker, I agree. I think she's got to be a front runner along with Carmella or maybe Chelsea Green. I think would be the two front runners. Jim says, I think that Fox still relies on local affiliates to carry the programming and pay for the primetime slot. Uso's getting a push, says Creed. Ryan says, nothing was bad tonight. 5.5 from Hybrid. I mean, look, I think there's definitely things that you can pick apart if you want to. If you want to be super critical, then you can pick a few things apart. Like, they didn't really say anything in the promo at the start. It was intriguing, but did it actually say anything? No. So you could lay into that. You could lay into Jey Uso being added to a number one contenders match. Why did he even deserve to be there? Him winning, is that really the best match for Roman? Where's the Fiend? Why was the Fiend not in that match? Why was Braun not in that match? Why was AJ not in that match? So if you want to rip that apart, you could rip that apart. If you want to say that Bayley and Sasha, was too obvious because, we went back to it and they were still in the ring after the break. So it was very obvious what was about to happen. They could have maybe done it slightly different. I mean, you can look at it that way and you can rip into it. You can say it was a bit too long look, people can criticize it if they want. For me, I don't care about any of that. I think the promo was really interesting and it did what it needed to do. I think the attack was longer and more brutal than what I was expecting, and I'm really pleased. I loved the chair on the neck moment. Wasn't expecting it. I think it was an exclamation point on a very brutal beatdown. There's no apologies there. It's not as if she's attacked her from behind and walked off and she then apologizes a week later. I'm sorry, I lost my mind, I got frustrated. No, there's no coming back from this. This was a sustained attack. And I think it was brilliant. And Jey Uso, man, I never saw it coming. They swerved me. And they've given us a match that is about family and could lead to Roman Rock and could lead to some very big things. So, yes, I understand that Jey being the number one contender is strange, but I think ultimately it could tell a very interesting story, and ultimately it could really get Roman some mad heel heat. So, I love it. Yeah, I agree. I think the majority of people in the chat were on board with it. And if you're not, that's fine. I still respect people's opinion, If it wasn't for you, I totally respect that. Because, as I've said, I think you can see things an alternative way. But I just want a show that gives me talking points. I just want a show that I can get lost in, theorize about, get excited with, speculate as to where they're going with it. And this gave us that in droves. They gave us tons of it tonight. So, loved it. Really enjoyed it. Days I got followed by John Cena on Twitter, says Tom Glenda Collis. The lady in the heels might be Bobby, says Febin. Vanessa Bourne's an interesting shout. Didn't think about her. That's interesting. Chalmers says, I like that they're using tag stars in singles competition when others are injured. Jake says, Sasha Bayley has to happen at Hell in a Cell. Clash of Champions is too early. It's an interesting point. Jay Shite says, I think it was boring. We already knew that Alexa was joining. And no angry Strowman or anything. Just Jay, who is no big deal. Alexa's joining, but we don't know that she is the friend next week. We don't know that that's going to be the reveal. As someone was just saying, it might be a bit too soon for Alexa. Could it be that Braun joins? Could it be it's a new puppet? Could it be a real Swerve and it's Bo Dallas? I mean, you can theorize about some other people other than Alexa. So it might not be Alexa next week. So that's what I'm saying. It gives you something to get your teeth into. In regards to Jay, I like how they did it because he wasn't in the match. WWE didn't have him as a number one contender. He wasn't on WWE's radar. But as soon as Big E was out, Paul Heyman made it happen. Paul Heyman convinced WWE to put him in. And then, opportune moment, big splash, managed to just pick up the win. I mean, the way it was done, he didn't dominate the match or anything. So he got into the match thanks to Paul Heyman. He won the match because he earned it. You know, he was the one that got the pin. But I do like it, yeah. I mean, look, is he a number one contender? Is he someone that's going to really drive pay-per-view buys? You would say no right now. I understand that. But I think that after a couple of weeks build of family talk, promos, whatever story they're going to tell, I think it's going to be very, very interesting. There's a very interesting story that can be told here, and I can't wait to see it unfold. I can't wait to see it. We've already seen a bit of moodiness from Roman, saying, your brother would get it done tonight. Let's see if you can. So, I like it. Yeah. SmackDown was fire. Carmella's not been around in 3 months. Muzz Irvin, shout out to you. Paul Heyman would make a great GM, says Joe Rock. We got a couple more minutes, and then we are going to part ways. We do have the Wrestling Escape Pod coming up for people. I know there's a lot of excitement. I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to carry on talking about what we've seen and SmackDown and all of that, and I totally get all of that. If you, are at a loss this weekend and you fancy watching something, then, as we said, the Wrestling Escape Pod actually goes up live in about 5 minutes' time. It's all about All In. It's all about that show from a couple of years ago, how it came about, what matches were on it, where people have gone to since, the impact that it had. Obviously, it's all out tomorrow. So make sure that you join us for that. We are back tomorrow for AEW All Out. It's going to be a massive show, massive stream. Very much looking forward to that. And of course, we're back on Monday for Raw as well. So we've got plenty coming up. But yeah, if you want to relive All In and some of those memories, or maybe you don't know much about it. You don't know much about how AEW started and what All In was all about, then for 50 odd minutes we go through it all. No Retribution tonight. No, apparently they're going to be Raw exclusive. That's what we've heard. TTV King, shout out to you. Katana Rick says this was absolutely wondrous in my opinion. I'm glad you enjoyed it, dude. I think a lot of people did tonight. Birrock says Carmella is thinner compared to the lady's calf. You are so obsessed with those calves that I'm a little bit concerned. I think you've got like a little kinky addiction to women's calves. And each to their own. I'm not judging, but I'm definitely judging. Jay Shy says, who is the Fiend's next opponent? Well, I think it's very difficult. I thought that he would still be with Roman, and he seemed to have a few words there for Roman. He says, Roman took his favourite toy and all of this kind of stuff. So, I don't know. It definitely feels like there's unfinished business there. But we'll have to see. Hopefully, I don't know if you're going to find out an opponent, but I think there's going to be a bit of a step taken next week when we find out who this new friend is. So, hey, look, this show was huge, but they have done a great job of setting up next week's SmackDown as well. So, SmackDown on absolute fire at the moment. On absolute fire. Days were just used to bad shows, so this was amazing, says BOD. Carmella's in Retribution. Could it be Peyton Royce getting... Oh, James Knight, that is a great shout. It could be Peyton Royce, you're right. Hey, that's a great shout because there's big rumours that they're going to push Peyton hard. Maybe you're right. Well done, you. Well done. I never even considered that. He took my favourite toy, says BOD. Those are true fighting words. Wrestling Days fan, shout out to you. Hey, look, we're done. Guys, honestly, I could sit here and keep talking to you all night. I genuinely mean this. I want to say, and I know I say it a lot, but ignore every other time. Just focus on this time. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that joined us tonight. This has been one of my favourite streams of this year, which might sound weird, right? I know it sounds weird because we've had some great streams. We've had some enjoyable moments. We've had a lot of laughs. But I really love this show. I really enjoyed this show. And there was so much to talk about it has. I feel like I've been sat here for maybe 50 minutes or so. I kind of feel like really awake. I kind of feel like I could sit and talk for easily another couple of hours. I could just keep going. I feel really energized. I feel really awake. I feel I feel satisfied. I feel entertained. I'm just buzzing, man. I feel really good after that show. So I really appreciate everyone that joined us, because I hope you enjoyed it as well. I really do, because I think that was a really fun show. Just a fun show. And even if you didn't, if you're one of those people that show wasn't for you, I hope you had fun on the stream anyway. So thank you to everyone that joined us. And as we said, we're back again tomorrow for AEW All Out. I nearly said All In. All Out. And of course, we're back on Monday as well. So Malik says, what if Roman tells Jay to just lay down? I'm not sure they'll go that way, because I think they'll get quite a bit of backlash, bud. I mean, the last thing WWE need to do is a finger poke of doom. That didn't work well for WCW. I don't think it'll work well for WWE. So, awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully, see you again next time. Bye for now.